Hey there, I'm Steve, and welcome to Jamsin Entertainment. And welcome to the conversation. Just before we get started, there are many ways you can help. You can like and subscribe so you never miss a conversation. But most importantly, please share this video. Get the word out there as a community where we can talk about all things that we love. I know it's been almost a year since the last podcast episode. I figured I'd get a great regular back, Walt. There is so much to talk about. How's it going, Walt?
Good. Yes, we got a lot of things to cover on the table here, from Marvel to DC and back again.
So, just before we turned on the camera, we were talking, we first looked at a meme of 5 possible actors to be Wolverine.
Right.
It was all Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman.
And then I mentioned to Walt, when I was editing my video for Lost City, these articles popped up, and one of them was Sandra Bullock saying, just give Daniel Radcliffe the fucking role already. And she was talking about giving him the Wolverine role.
Right.
And I told Walt to hold his thoughts on that. So go.
Okay. Now, if they do that, let's say in some wild situation he gets the part. From where does it take place? Do you have him continue from where they left off at? Is it a separate story? Like, what is it that you're doing with him? Like, what story is he going to fit into? Weapon X? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does he fit in if something that was to happen? Where would he fit in? In what story, in what universe would it fit? Where would it work? Not to mention, he had to hit the fucking gym for like 6-7 months. Any fucking way.
Yeah, he'd have to put on a lot of money.
That's what I'm saying. So, being said, where would he try to fit in?
Other people I heard was Tom Hardy, but he kind of can't because he's already Venom.
Yeah.
Another one was...
Bane.
Yeah, Bane, not Venom. Right. Venom sucks. Another one was Taron Egerton.
You want to play Elton John?
Elton John and
the King's Man?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I think he'd be a pretty good role. Good fit.
Okay.
He's already got like the physicality, and I think he does a lot of his own stunts.
Yeah, I can see really that. Good. All right, so that's... All right, who else? Who's the actor? He's also a British actor. Lord have mercy.
They're all the best ones.
Okay. He was on a brief show on Fox. We played like a forensic psychiatrist type working with the police. I forget the actor's name. But Lou Diamond Phillips was playing a cop on the same show too. I can't remember the name of the cop show to save my life. But his name also came up as a possible Wolverine. And he could probably pull it off, but like I said, to get someone brand new, where is it going to start from? Where is this story going to pick up from?
So I have my idea, which I think I've talked to before, and may have even talked to on the podcast before. First idea was crossing dimensions. But now that they have the whole multiverse opened up, and they're talking about, like, especially in the last multiverse movie, which was Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, okay. You had Mr. Fantastic explaining to him that if two multiverses come too close in touch, they could eliminate one or the other or both. Well, my idea is that they just merge together.
But then one would get fucked up and the other one wouldn't.
No. This would be a complete anomaly. It would be a perfect merger, and both worlds would be like, what's going on? Because you'd have the mutants come in, and to them everything seems the same for the most part. They're not sure who this Captain America is, or anyone like that.
That's a hell of a story to write and put that out, because some people don't like all that multiverse type of story.
That's the way that this is going anyway.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. If you're going to bring over the X-Men characters, keep McAvoy and Fassbender as Magneto and Xavier.
In that
because they're young enough
to pull it off.
And they can even like rewrite, like they could have gone what they went through. But it doesn't exist because it's a whole new universe.
You're asking, it's not impossible, that's for sure. Because it's a multiverse. So it's like whatever happens here, can't happen here because it happened here, and vice versa.
Like it's a perfect merger, but the characters are brought over, not the events.
In fact,
the events of the MCU still exist, and so there's a lot of catch up there.
Yeah.
And I think that would work. Recast.
So you want to drop Daniel Radcliffe in the middle of that?
I don't know about
That's what I'm
Radcliffe.
saying. I'm just saying, but a brand new Wolverine period in the middle of that.
I'm not even entirely certain about recasting the rest of the X-Men from the younger ones.
Right.
Because they were just given bad scripts. I can recognize that. They were all given bad scripts. Where was I going with this?
Bad scripts from
and
the younger cast in X-Men movies.
So there's no reason to fault them for that.
No, of course not.
I would love to see the original team, which I'm pretty sure is Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, and Beast. And I think maybe Colossus.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Storm? We adding Storm into this?
No, she's
or no?
later. So X-Men, Wolverine and Storm are like the next generation.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So what they could do, how they can incorporate Wolverine, is kind of what they did in the first X-Men movie. He's just out there wandering.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't have amnesia, and maybe he does. I don't care either way.
Right.
But he could just be out there, and he doesn't have adamantium yet. Because the mutants are being brought into this universe,
right.
They're new to the MCU. And so they could still do, what's it called? Experiment X or?
What do you mean?
Project X?
Weapon X.
Weapon X.
Weapon
they can
X.
still do Weapon X.
So he's still a soldier, but he hasn't been given the adamantium
just
he's
not
yet.
really part of the X-Men team.
He's not.
He's like on the radar of Magneto and Xavier.
Right. But they have no idea.
But the government gets him first.
Of course. Because if you remember, what was it? X-Men Days of Future Past? That one little cameo with Hugh Jackman, everybody's favorite Wolverine for some fucking reason. Where they go to try to recruit him, and he says, "Get the fuck off me! Get the fuck away from me!" And they're like, "All right, have a nice day." Just that quick. Yeah. So they was like, "He don't want to be bothered." But that was a quick cameo that freaked everybody out. Like, oh shit!
Well, they keep on teasing us about him being in Deadpool 3.
Is
he going to be Wolverine, or is he just going to be Hugh Jackman, and they're making Wolverine jokes?
No. I don't think he would go for that. It's possible because
have you seen the relationship that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have?
Yes.
I could totally see him being Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 3, and they're just making Wolverine jokes at him.
Right. That's possible because we all know Ryan Reynolds has that type of humor, which is perfect. What I said before on this show, he is perfect for Deadpool because he's just an asshole, but you get it. He's not annoying to the point you want to hurt him, but you get it. Like, oh, that's just his style. That's just his humor. That's just his get down. That's just who he is. But either way, it could happen. Either your way or the traditional way of him playing Wolverine. But like I said, it was an article. I can't remember what the fuck it was. The article said, look, just bring the Brinks truck to Hugh Jackman's house and just dump the fucking money in the living room. Just do that. Everything else will work itself out. Just pay the man whatever it is he's asking for. But he has said on numerous occasions now, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
Make the budget for this movie $10 billion and $5 billion just goes to Hugh Jackman.
He's set for his children's education is paid for.
His children's children.
On this one goddamn character. Now, did you ever see the second? What was that movie? Night at the Museum. They were on the run.
Unfortunately.
That was good. But they run into Hugh Jackman doing a play, and he jokingly does this.
Oh, I can't remember. I only see.
He was on stage playing. He was on stage in a play, and something was going on, and he went like, "Oh God," and did like that.
Oh.
And he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm used to doing that." And that was a joke. So he can make fun of himself.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He can do that. So for Deadpool 3, yes, it's possible. So everyone seeing this, email, subscribe, whoever you got to call or talk to, get the emails and the messages to Hugh Jackman. We all want this. He knows we all want this. He knows every fanboy on the planet wants him to do this again. And the funny part is, the great part is, he has no reason not to do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it's a bad script, or he don't get along with somebody, or it's a problem with the executives in the studio. It's just, I just don't want to. I'm good. But everybody's like, please, 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 just one more time. But that's the problem with that. This could work out good if he does it, and then something else down the pike will come up again, and everybody say, please, come on, one more time, one more time. But
well, it's always going to be one more time.
Maybe
that's why he wants to quit, because he's like, it's always going to be one more time.
But it can work because the character is old anyway.
Old Man Logan.
So it doesn't matter how old Hugh Jackman gets in real life.
They could actually do Old Man Logan, where he's on Planet Hulk.
Anything. But they could also CGI his face, make him look younger.
No, that would be a great miniseries.
What?
Old Man Logan.
What, I mean, on Disney Plus type of thing?
Of course.
All right, well, I'm sure someone has suggested this to him before. I'm sure it's come up. But like I said, with him, it's just, I just don't want to. Like you said, there's always going to be one more time. Come on, one more time. 10 years from now,
he's going to be
come
90.
on, one more. Come on, one more. But now with technology, CGI his face, make him look younger or older.
Yeah.
Have him hit the gym, but so much. Like, because you got to remember, the character is over 100 years old, but he looks like a man in his mid-30s. So it can work. So Hugh Jackman's what? Pushing 50? Pushing 60?
Something like that.
Okay, so what the fuck? Hit the gym enough that you look presentable the way you're supposed to look. And then the good script, whatever it is, Deadpool 5 at this fucking point or whatever. And see where it goes. But like I said, it's just him. I just don't want to. He doesn't have anything against anyone. There's no animosity, there's no beef, there's no nothing. I just don't want to. Now we've seen him in 20 other projects which have all been pretty good. Real Steel, the one he played Gary Hart, the politician, was messing with all these different women. So he can act. The man can act. He's a stage actor. First and foremost, I think he's done stage out the ass.
Yeah.
He did Beauty and the Beast and Oklahoma and all that kind of. So he got the presence to pull it off. But whatever his reasons are, they're his reasons. And I'm sure he's had this conversation with his family, with executives, his managers, agent, and himself. Like, okay, I'm good. I don't want to do it anymore. I got what you're saying. I love you all for bringing it to me again. I'm glad I brought this to life for you. But I just don't want to do it anymore.
Right.
So it opens the door for you, anybody that wants to try to take this on. Now the problem is, are you worried as an actor, as a person in general, will people accept me in this role? If Taron Egerton or whoever else gets it.
Well, I mean, look at all the Batman.
God almighty.
We got Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and now we got Robert Pattinson.
Right.
That's 6.
This is true.
Six in the last 30 years.
You almost, if George Clooney didn't want to do it again, if Batman Robin would have worked and George Clooney didn't want to do it again, you would have had Kurt Russell.
Oh, God.
You would have had Mel Gibson at one point.
No.
Yes.
No.
Look that up. You could have had Mel Gibson.
I'm not saying no that it's not real. I'm saying no that it wouldn't work.
How do we know?
Him or Kurt Russell. They're just...
No, Kurt Russell could have pulled it off.
No.
They could have pulled it off.
No.
You say that now. Well, think back 20 years ago. They could have pulled it off. Kurt Russell could pull it off now, but Michael Keaton's back to play the older Bruce Wayne. But it can work. It can work.
No.
It could have worked.
You know who would be perfect as?
Who?
Kurt Russell would be perfect as an older Green Arrow.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Right. But now we'll never know.
We don't know. Who knows?
Now we'll never know. We'd like to know, and like I said, I don't have a problem with Ben Affleck as Batman. I fucking loved him as Batman.
Oh, I liked him too. It's just he was also given a bad script by both Snyder and Whedon.
And the one that he has, we'll never see.
Maybe.
I doubt it. It would take a massive fucking event in Warner Brothers Studios for them to say, okay, give him the green light.
Pattinson.
Well, he's going to do it 2 more times.
Of course, he's going to be really old by then.
He's going to do it 2 more fucking times.
Yeah.
Pattinson's got 2 more to do. So, and he's younger.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like
So-
in his early 40s.
That's what I'm saying. Ben Affleck is what?
50-something?
Yeah. So, I mean, come on. Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton are perfect if you want to do Batman Beyond. Michael Keaton especially because he's much
I
older.
would want Michael Keaton to do Batman Beyond.
Yes. Well, we've said that before
Who
on
do
this.
you get to play Terry?
That line will be around the fucking block. Because you'll have every pretty motherfucking boy who's been on soap opera.
Actually,
Some pretty motherfucker who's been just...
before I even finished asking that question,
Mm-hmm.
I thought of who would be perfect.
For who?
Austin Butler.
Elvis?
He would be perfect for Terry McGinnis.
He's too old.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's 30.
Terry has to be at least 17.
So, you've had 20-somethings, mid-20-somethings.
But he doesn't look it, though. He really does. He looks older.
He does not look older.
Yes, he does. He looks older than 17.
Well, he doesn't have to be 17.
All right, 18, 19.
He could pass for 15. I mean, not 15. 25 easily.
All right, but if they go a certain way...
Now, they do have, like, a time limit.
Right.
Austin Butler's in his, like, early 30s.
Right.
But I think Austin Butler would be perfect Terry McGinnis.
One way to find out. But I would go with somebody a little bit younger. Because if it works, you'll want at least 3 Batman Beyond movies out of them. Or at least the character.
Well, if we're going to go younger...
I ain't saying...
I wish I could remember his name, but the kid from Stranger Things, and he was also in Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Finn.
Yeah, tall, skinny.
Finn Wolf?
I can't remember his name.
Something, yeah. I know you're talking about curly head kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would be perfect. If you want to go younger. Because
He's older.
he is like 18 now.
He had to put some weight on, though. Gotta
Yeah.
put some weight. Gotta put some weight on him. Could he pull it off? Yeah. They talked about Stephen Amell's brother before. Now you're mentioning Austin Butler. Just get somebody who can pull it off. Like I said, I know you have to look good on camera, but don't bring me a pretty boy all the goddamn time for every superhero. It don't gotta be a pretty boy. Just someone who can pull it off.
Right.
But you have to look good on camera because all your superheroes, for the most part, the ones with superpowers anyway, have to look like Greek gods. They gotta look chiseled. Their jawlines gotta be firm, and I get that.
Speaking of which, I hear Man of Steel 2 is actually in the works.
Thank God. What the fuck? Who we gotta kill around here to get this done? Here's the thing about show business, and this is my opinion.
I'm excited because Zack Snyder says he's done with DC. Well, I think he's done with
DC?
DC, or just, I don't know.
Oh,
I like him to be done because I don't like him as a director.
I do. I like Zack Snyder. His vision is different. Not better.
He doesn't know
It's
how to
just
tell
different.
a story. I'm always going to advocate he should be a cinematographer because he is great at capturing shots.
The shots.
But he's not a storyteller.
Well, I hope Man of Steel 2... I don't give a fuck who directs it. But I would like to see Henry Cavill do it again.
Oh, I think he's stoked for it too.
Yeah, and it should. But here's the thing. I wish these actors would stop playing the Hollywood game as much and just really say what you mean. If you want to play the part, say so. That's what your agent is for, your manager is for, your publicist. Everyone on your goddamn payroll who's supposed to work for you. Tell them what you want. I want this part. Let's make it happen.
He's big enough; he can do that.
That's what I'm saying. You should be able to speak your mind anyway and just say, look, it's on the table, let's have it. I want to do it. Whatever we have to do, let's just make it happen. Work hard for it, of course, but make it happen. With show business, it's like you're trying to make an honest living in a dishonest business.
Yeah.
With all the backbiting and the backroom deals and the handshakes and all the... We understand that to a point because we're fans, but we're not in that world. So we're sure it's more in depth and more stronger than what it really is to us on the outside looking in. But we want to get past that. When do you just say, I want the part? Henry Cavill should say, I want the part.
You have to be big enough, though.
That's what I'm saying. But even, like, be so big where you don't get a big head about it. You know what I mean? Like, you had that...
have humility.
Right, have that. Have that. If Tom Cruise can turn down Iron Man, then anything is possible. But look what it did. It opened up the door for Rob Downey Jr. again.
Yeah.
And he was on Hollywood's shit list for years.
Could you imagine a Tom Cruise Iron Man?
Yeah.
I think it would have worked in the 90s. I don't think it would have worked when Iron Man actually came out.
Probably. Now we'll never know.
No.
But it could have worked. Now we'll never know, but it could have worked. So if...
I can't even picture Tom Cruise with a weird-looking beard. I mean,
I can.
I've seen him with a beard in Last Samurai. That works, but I can't see him with a creative one.
Oh, well.
A stylized one. It just, I don't know, doesn't compute with me.
Well, like I said, now we'll never know. Let's say they take his picture and CGI it to see this is what it looks.
There's probably concepts out there.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure there are plenty out there. But like you said, have that humility, but be humble, but say what you mean. You want the part. And here's the part. Here's the aggravating part. The actors don't have the power. Some do, some don't. But you should still be able to say to someone who matters, I want the part. I work for it. Let's do this. Whatever it takes, let's do it. If I got to take a pay cut and get money up the back end, if we have to do this, we have to do that, cut the movie down from 4 hours to 3 hours. Whatever it is, people want to see that.
4 hours.
It's just amazing how these projects, we want to see them. We want to see them our way, through our eyes, through our point of view, and we value that. We value our point of view taken seriously. But when the studios and the powers that be don't do it, it makes you angry, because you're telling them what you want, how this could look, how it could be. And I understand you have the final say, but take the fans' point of view into some consideration. Is it going to hurt you? Is it going to hurt you in the back end, or hurt your career, to say we gave the people what they wanted? Now, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least pretend to give a shit. Pretend to give a shit. You know what I mean? Damn. Ain't the end of the world.
I think more was losing that, to be honest.
You think so?
Yeah, they're becoming really formulaic.
Yeah, this next phase.
I mean, they did two.
This next phase is going to be tricky.
They did 2 multiverse movies back to back.
Yeah, Spider-Man and the Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
but
and Spider-Man was the superior film.
But it worked.
Yeah.
I think it worked. I really think it worked.
You mean Doctor Strange?
Yeah, I think they both
worked. It does work. It's just not nearly as exciting because we just saw Spider-Man.
Right.
We just saw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield with Tom Holland.
Right.
And their old villains.
Right. That worked.
What does Doctor Strange have? He has multiverse jumping.
Right.
Which is fun, and you saw some cool concepts in there.
Right.
Like
the pain
Captain Carter.
I'm in love with that woman. I love Haley Atwell I like her, period. But I love her. I love that fucking character, Agent Carter. I don't know. I just want to know. A tall woman, tall, leggy woman with long hair, kicking ass. I like it. What can I say? It's just her and the way Linda Carter did it as Wonder Woman, the way Lucy Law did it as Xena. I don't know what it is. I'm a short guy. I like tall Caucasian women with long hair. I don't know. It's just the forbidden fruit, I call it. But that's just me.
Let's go further back. Did you see Eternals?
Yes.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Could have been better.
Definitely.
Okay, Okay. The story was up and down like a seesaw. It was like, where are you going with this? Where's this going? We're just going. And I understand they're immortal characters. I get that. But it was one of the cases of too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean?
You mean the characters?
The movie, period. It was just, the characters too, especially. But it was a case of too many cooks in the kitchen. Everyone is trying to put their little ingredient in, and it just didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have a recipe, but no, I want to put this. Oh, I want to put this. I want to put this. I want to put this. You can't do that. And then when it doesn't work, people are like, well, what happened? Well, you did too much.
Well, I think the other problem, it was originally a Fox product, wasn't it?
I think so. It's possible.
Because they only very slightly tie the Eternals to the rest of the MCU, talking about Thanos.
Yeah.
And
they were there, but they couldn't interfere.
I finally seen a meme about it. Mm-hmm. You have this giant, now basically statue, that is visible from space.
Right.
sticking out of the ground, and no one said anything about it.
No.
I finally seen a meme about that. I was like, yes, finally someone fucking said it.
What they say?
They just said that. It's like, how is it that we've had like 3 or 4 movies go by and no one's mentioned the giant fucking statue in the sky? Like, how are they going to tie the Eternals into the MCU? Now, I've been told numerous times, like, the Eternals are supposed to be cosmic.
Right.
And so they're not really going to interfere with
They never
the
do.
world.
They never do.
But the problem is, this one happened on a world scale.
Right.
It has cosmic consequences.
But you heard them say we don't interfere. They don't interfere.
Which is bullshit. That's like every quote-unquote God's answer. We
Right.
don't interfere.
We don't interfere.
The only show that can do that and get away with it is Star Trek with their Prime Directive. You good?
Yeah, they don't interfere.
But I just
That's,
like they have to tie them in somehow. It's just this.
They will.
For
Remember
me,
the
it's
bonus
just this,
scene?
like this untied. I don't know. They're right there. And it's like a string that's been cut or something like that.
Right.
And you just want to tie off those loose ends.
Just like she said in fucking Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, if you remove
There's the timeline.
Right.
You'll change
But-
something.
yeah, but
That's why they don't do anything.
From a storytelling point of view,
Mhm.
something should have been mentioned, like a throwaway line. Like, have you seen that massive fucking
They didn't do
thing
it.
in this area of the world that you can see from?
They didn't do it.
Just a throwaway line in one of the movies, probably Doctor Strange because that is MCU, not Spider-Man because that's technically not MCU.
Right. Maybe they'll get it right the
Just
next time.
something.
This next phase is going to be something that everybody is talking about and reading about. I'm telling you, you'll see the timeline on your television screen just looking it up. But the problem with the new timeline is where is it going to go? Because now the next big villain is Kang.
Yeah, I think I think Kang is Phase 5.
Right.
Phase 4 is the TV series and the movies.
Okay.
And that's leading up to
But now you have another
my theory anyway.
a big upcoming Avengers battle in the long run is coming. So we're for Thanos, I'm gonna deal with Kang and his bullshit. So he wants the world on a fucking string. He wants the world in the palm of his hand. Every major Marvel villain is like that. If I can't have it, like Darkseid in DC, if I can't have it,
No one
I'll
can.
destroy it.
Right. But Kang, from what I can remember, and it's been brought up in some of the media I've been consuming,
I'm listening.
at the end of Loki, he says he's basically seen everything and been everywhere. Like, he knows the outcome already.
Right.
So
But he
that's
won't
kinda-
interfere
that's
and
kinda
watch it play the
interesting.
fuck out.
That's interesting because they're removing essentially agency from all the characters. Like, they don't have a choice.
No.
So that would be very interesting to see how that plays out. Even though we kind of saw that with Thanos, because he says that was inevitable, and he actually won in the first movie.
Right.
But this one is completely different. This he knows what you're going to do.
So how do you combat that?
Yeah, I know. That's why it's going to be interesting to watch that.
Jesus, I don't know.
They're probably going to utilize that quantum time jumping.
I don't
lies.
envy the writers who have to go over this with a fine-tooth comb and make sure they don't make mistakes.
Oh yeah, the continuity department has got to be
Yes.
pulling.
You can't, that's what I'm saying. You can't say this because we said this 5 years ago.
Yeah, but they've
You
already.
can't put this in because we had to put this in 5 years
But
ago.
they've already made mistakes like that.
Yeah.
Like, they've. I can't remember. I think it was in Homecoming or one of those movies where it says the events of the first Avengers was 8 years ago, but for the real audience it was 10
years ago. Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's,
They've done stuff like that.
yeah, that's
But
manageable. It's not like
It doesn't break the narrative.
right
Little
'cause-
stuff like that.
Yeah,
but-
that's not as bad as you happen to see someone wearing a green shirt in this movie, and when they flash back and show you the same person now wearing a orange shirt. Like, wait a minute, what happened here? Like,
Well, no, the
it's
first-
not consistent.
The first egregious thing that comes to mind for me, and this is more of a nitpick,
Mhm.
is how Nick Fury got his scar.
The cat, the fucking
It's
cat.
so stupid.
Right.
Why would they do? Why would they make it a throwaway joke? Why didn't There were so many times in Captain Marvel where he could have gotten his eye blown, and it would have been fine. Instead, they make it a joke, and that's another problem.
And the original story, he was in a war. He was a combat veteran.
Yeah, but that's something I keep on hearing in the movie / Marvel comic community, that the Marvel movies are becoming too jokey. And I don't really have that much of a problem with it. I mean, it does throw off the tone of movies sometimes.
Right.
Like, I don't think Ragnarok, even though it's my now second favorite.
That's the one that started off for Ragnarok. And now the other four
movies. It threw
movies.
off the tone in that, but now with Love and Thunder, I
still haven't seen yet.
You haven't?
I haven't seen that.
We won't talk about that as much, but Taika Waititi strikes a better balance of humor and serious moments in Love and Thunder.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard the opposite. I've saying the opposite.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what I think. I'm an outlier. Like, I really love the film. It's now my new favorite MCU movie.
Really?
And this is a Captain America fan. I'm a huge Thor is I guess my second favorite Avenger then, because his movies are his latter two movies are my favorite.
Right.
I love Love and Thunder. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, yes, I see the criticisms that everyone's talking about.
Too many jokes in the wrong places.
Not necessarily that, but how they approach things. Let's see if I can talk about this without spoiling.
That's all right. I'm gonna say that anyway. Just tell me.
Well, okay, so the way they handle Gore, he's kind of used sparingly in the movie, which works, because you don't want him in there too much because he loses his edge, his intimidation. But, and I talked with our friend Dara about this, the way that they could have utilized him instead of some of the other scenes, maybe eliminate two of the scenes that he was in for this one scene. I agree with him on this. This would have been great. So you saw in the trailer that Thor and gang go to see Zeus.
Right.
Okay. Here, so an alternate way they could have done this is Gore gets to, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically Olympia, the city of the gods. I can't remember.
Mount Olympus, whatever.
Something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But Gore gets there first.
Right.
And he slaughters everyone. Because he's supposed to be the god butcher.
Right, I got that.
And so I think it would have worked if he left Zeus hanging by a thread. Because Dara also mentioned there wasn't really this fatherly moment, this moment where Thor needed someone to tell him what he needed to hear.
Right.
And Zeus could have been that. And it would have worked if Gore went through and slaughtered all those gods and Zeus was there. Because part of the reason why they go there, they ask for his help to raise an army against Gore.
Right.
But they ultimately take Zeus's thunderbolt. So they could have had Thor and gang walking through the carnage that, pun intended,
but they didn't do that.
Pun intended, that Gore caused. Because he would have been living up to his name in two ways. He's the God Butcher, and he caused a lot of gore.
Oh, okay.
Carnage was pun intended because, yeah.
I know.
And he could have had a father-son kind of conversation with Zeus, because Thor, in the movie, he says, Zeus is my hero. Well, they go in the movie the route of never meet your heroes kind of advice. Because Zeus is kind of a dick.
Okay, I got that.
But I think it would have been awesome if Gore just slaughtered all of them and left Zeus there to, I don't know. Maybe he thought he killed Zeus. Maybe he did it intentionally. I don't know. I think it just would have been really awesome to see that. Because you see him kill, maybe one or two gods, and that's about it.
Okay.
So he doesn't really live up to his name in the movie.
But we don't want the Marvel Universe to take that route and be too fucking humorous. You can't do that with every movie. Because I bet you this next Blade movie won't have humor in it like that.
Well, that's part
There'll
of
be some comical moments, but not the way. What's the guy's name? The director?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. That style can't work in a Blade movie.
No.
It can't. So the next phase, every movie that he does or he writes will have that style in it, but it won't be too many more.
Well, that's what I kind of mean. It's become formulaic, because there's
as long as it's formulaic to him, not to everyone else.
Right, but if you look at the majority, or no, all of the MCU movies, kind of minus Eternals, because that's its own enigma.
Right.
It's kind of like they have to have like 30 to 50 jokes in the movie.
God,
it's something like that. It's like after Endgame's like, here's the formula we're going to use for Phase 4.
Right.
Which
just don't get all.
I'm admitting that I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Right.
And I've known people that have said, like, from the first Avengers movie, like, they're getting tired of it. Like, they're getting superhero burnout.
If they go that route, yeah, it could burn you the fuck out. It could burn,
especially the fact that they're hitting you with TV shows and movies back to back to back to back to back.
The burnout with that type of humor, and everyone will agree with me on this. If you saw, what you all saw back in the day, Batman Forever, the scene with Tommy Lee Jones in the helicopter.
I recently rewatched that.
With the helicopter, pulls out the club and puts on the steering wheel of the joint of the helicopter. Also, the safe coming out of the wall of the bank and then sliding right back into the same spot where it was. That worked for that. But
now,
wait, hear me out.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Everyone was making club jokes back then.
Yes.
I mean, look at Mel Brooks in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
That's what I'm saying.
He put the club on the horse.
Right. I got that. It worked. Thank God. But for
and the
Batman,
studio wanted to do a lighter tone. That's why I went with Joel Schumacher.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Now everyone.
I like your physical anger towards that.
But everybody remembers the humor they tried and failed miserably in Batman and Robin.
That's
just that little tiny scene where they're in Arkham Asylum and there's just guards sitting there. He's got a Riddler clothes hanging up over here and Two-Face's clothes hanging up over here. First of all, their clothes were never in Arkham Asylum in the first place.
Right.
Tommy Jones' character died. So that's it. Like, where did all this extra shit come from? It was just all flash, no pun intended. All flash, no substance.
Puns are always intended.
Right. But I'm just saying, so
here's an explanation I heard through the multiple media that I consumed.
Right.
So the 89 Batman film was
Tim Burton.
Was a Burton studio film.
Right.
Batman Returns was all Tim Burton.
And they didn't like that.
Because, okay, he was successful with the first one.
Right.
Let's
give him a little more leeway.
Let's give him more leeway. Let's see what he can really do. Joel Schumacher was Joel Schumacher studio for Batman Forever.
Right.
That did great. Okay, let's see what he'll do with Batman and Robin. And that's why it's even worse. If I can watch Batman Forever like occasionally because as I just mentioned, I watched it recently. It's not nearly as bad as Batman and Robin. I can watch Batman Forever and enjoy myself. Maybe I'll watch Batman and Robin and see how it goes. Probably not well. I can probably laugh at it.
Show it to kids.
How ridiculous it is.
Show it to kids.
But
I can't
take it seriously as a Batman movie.
No, you can't. But that was the catch. They wanted you to. They wanted you to take it seriously.
Here's the weirdest thing. It's supposed to be the same Batman universe. It's supposed to be the exact same Batman from the first 89 to the Batman and Robin.
Right.
They're oil and water.
Right.
They just don't go together.
Right. It didn't. They tried to make it fit, and it didn't.
They're tonally completely
I didn't have a problem. Here's the biggest problem between those. Batman Forever, we've all seen that one. Okay? I understood what they were trying to do, but I didn't care for Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. I got it, speaking in twos, but Two-Face never talks like that.
No.
Everything he does is two, but he doesn't constantly say it and act it out.
He doesn't say we either.
No, he doesn't. And in the scene where he's got Debbie Mazur and he's got Drew Barrymore, and he says, "Ladies, you spoil us." He doesn't talk like that.
He doesn't. He is Two-Face. He's not Harvey and Two-Face.
Right.
He's one person
or
the other.
So that comes in the writing. That comes in the writing.
Right.
Do it this way, and he did it that way. For Batman and Robin, which was fucking worse, because here you have that. You have Alicia Silverstone as Alfred's niece, who doesn't have a British accent, but she went to Alfred's alma mater. Okay, fine. You know what I'm saying? That's one. Okay? The little puns and jokes they threw in there didn't work. It just did. There's a scene where George Clooney's upside down. He does like this, like a bat. It didn't work. It just didn't work. You've seen it like you see it, but you don't feel it. It doesn't work. It doesn't come out. It doesn't portray well on screen.
Perfectly in the '60s.
Yes, then it would have worked. There's a scene where these two actors or something about to happen to them, and the guy says, "Oh, it'll be one of those days." The humor just wasn't. Whatever we're trying to do just didn't work.
Right.
And they pushed it as much as they could, but everybody just said no. George Clooney got hired because of his chin. Like it just doesn't work.
At least Clooney has apologized on multiple occasions for Batman and Robin.
Yes, and he has said his own style of humor. I'm sorry, y'all. So he's taking the shoulder hit, the shoulder blame for all of it. When actually the person who wrote it should have their ass kicked. You don't do I don't understand.
Well, they only wrote it because it's what the studio approved. Like there was no. Like I said, there was less oversight for Batman and Robin than there was for Batman.
But when do you, as a writer, stand behind your words and say, "I want to go"? I understand if you had no choice. Maybe that was the case.
Well, that was a collaboration between him and Joel Schumacher then.
But someone should have said something. What was that?
That was I got a sound on the phone. Sorry.
But whose idea? And Bane. As
my opinion, they have still not gotten Bane right. Got closer with Dark Knight Rises,
right?
But they still haven't gotten him right.
But
I want to see a proper.
You want to see
proper Nightfall,
right? Bane is the assassin for hire, period. Not the crime boss they made him in, which I didn't mind. I didn't mind that as much. But for Batman and Robin, he was this mindless moron who looked very cartoonishly put together.
Well, what doesn't make any sense about Bane?
And they made him also, they also made him Poison Ivy's bodyguard.
Right.
That made no sense.
But what also doesn't make sense about the Dark Knight Rises Bane is, okay, I realize Nolan wanted to be as realistic as possible. They still could have had something Venom-like. Like steroids exist, and they could have come up with some kind of a steroids that works automatically and pumps it through there, and it's like an on-off switch for steroids.
Right.
They could have done that for this. Instead, they got...
His breathing was fucked up.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Having emergency surgery while in prison and shit.
I would love to see, maybe not a trilogy, they could definitely do Nightfall in like 2.5 hour movies easily. Well,
just a proper animated... I would go for a proper animated movie if they were to go that route. But see, now it's been done already. See, once you saw the title...
2.5 hour movies...
I remember seeing
Nightfall would work perfectly.
I remember seeing the poster that said The Dark Knight Rises, and I thought to myself, okay, for him to rise, he has to first what? Fall.
Right.
Which I immediately thought, oh, they're gonna fuck him up. And then when I remember watching the movie with my relatives, cause I already saw it before them, and I said, here it comes, and he picks him the fuck up, and boom, and everybody's like, oh my god! I said, I told you this was coming. So I anticipated that, so it was coming. Here it is. They got that part right, but as far as, like I said, the Bane mystique, the character's upbringing, they didn't cover so much of that. They didn't cover it the original way it was written, which I understand. But you still want to see him hit the juice and go from 6'6" to 7'5". You know what I mean? And just be a fucking hulking monster that doesn't give a fuck. But I guess they didn't want to go that route. That, because you know what? They probably thought about it, but they probably thought it would be too cheesy. They probably thought it wouldn't play right.
I think it could work well. Especially if they write it where he's not just brawn, but he's also a brain.
Right.
Like Bane.
But he was. And he played it. He played it that way, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? The venom, the juice. Like I said, the only part was missing was the venom and the juice in his head and all that kind of shit. I got that.
I mean,
but
it's not,
how would that have looked?
It's not.
You think it would play right on film?
Yeah, I think it would. Because it's not just brawn; it's also an intimidation tactic.
True. To watch him do this, and then you see him grow. Like, holy shit! Like, what's I getting into? Yeah.
I mean, yes, you count Joker as a super villain, but there's another way of looking at supervillain. Like Bane is a super powerful strength villain, And that would be the first time Batman gone up against anything like that. That would, I mean, he probably wouldn't flinch too much. He just, I don't know.
The story's always been, supposedly, Bane is the strongest motherfucker he's ever come across. Mainly because of the Venom. Everybody else...
I think Croc is... Well,
yeah,
in
Croc
the animated series, Bane just beats Croc pretty easily.
But as far as the stories always went, Two-Face wants the money. He wants the jewelry. Croc wants the money, the jewelry, whatever. Joker wants it all, but he'll risk it for a good laugh.
Right.
He doesn't care. Bane wants to destroy Batman, period.
He wants dominance.
Right. He wants to destroy him physically as well as mentally.
And spiritually.
Yeah. Which he does, and which he has done. You just want to see it with the juice, with the Venom. That's the only thing they didn't give you.
I think it would be an amazing 2 Batman movie story if they did that.
Well,
they could definitely pull it off.
But see, now it's been done already, so now it's like...
No, it hasn't.
You gonna have Robert Pattinson do it?
No. I was actually thinking Ben Affleck.
He doesn't want to go that route, though.
I know.
Unless
you'd have to find someone else.
Unless there was a massive event at Warner Brothers. No, hear me out. Unless there was a massive event at Warner Brothers, and Ben Affleck does it 2 more times. Well, no, his script here, his Batman script with him and Deathstroke. That'd be one. Another one, he'd be dealing with Joker or whomever. And then if he could do it with Bane, I bet you he would go the route you want. I think he would have enough respect for it and know how to do it that way. Where he's already, Bane is already what, 6'2", 6'3",
something like that.
And then hit the juice and boom.
He's like 7'5".
7'5". It's possible, but what writer and director has the balls to do it that way? Christopher Nolan did it his way and it worked. But just that one little thing you want to see, what director and writers will have the balls to say, we're going to do it this way and it's going to fucking work. And make it work.
Matt Reeves. The guy who did the recent Batman movie.
But you see Robert Pattinson going up against that type of Bane?
No. I'm not saying the actor, I'm saying the director.
Right, but I'm
just
saying.
You're asking for a director, so I gave you director.
All right, a director. All right. But if Matt Reeves does it 2 more times with Pattinson, can you see that type of Bane against Robert Pattinson? It's possible.
It's possible. But the problem is, at the moment, there's no Robin. And I don't think you can do the Bane story without... Well, okay. In the Bane story, it's Nightwing. Because they have the whole... See, I want it all. I want the emotions. I want the feels.
But here's the thing. I don't think in the Pattinson Batman universe you're going to get a Robin.
No.
You're not going to get one.
I
don't see it. I
don't know who they would get.
Never mind. That's easy.
I mean, even one of the kids from Stranger Things.
Anybody. I'm just saying it's possible, but I don't think even Matt Reeves has it in his radar to do that.
No.
I
think it could work. Because
you got to really push the idea of...
No, not really.
Well,
in the Batman,
right,
when when Batman is on the crime scene in the beginning of the movie, before he leaves, he sees the kid
whose father did.
And so there's already that. And then, I mean, I'm not saying make that kid Robin.
Right.
I'm just saying there's a connection already there. He's like...
Yeah, he connected that briefly.
Like he
connected with that kid.
He feels his pain.
Yeah, because he was that kid.
And he feels like he needs to pass on. Or like, I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying. Because he felt...
And then he saves the kid at the funeral.
Right.
Yeah.
So you need a kid like that, but a little bit older.
Yeah. That's why it's like you get one of the Stranger Things kids. Yeah.
That's not... It is possible.
Like one of the smaller ones. Really... Like, I think the one who plays... No, his name's not.
I can't remember names.
I can't remember their names, but the smaller one that was the victim in the first season.
Yeah.
I think he'd be perfect.
Maybe. But like I said, it would just...
Or they could go... they can go completely crazy with Carrie Kelly. And use the girl who plays Sam.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't know. It would have to really work. That's where rehearsals come in at. And...
Oh, Max. I think her name's Max.
Yeah, that's where rehearsals come in. And just overall auditions and meetings
Yeah.
to fill you out. Do you fit with this actor as opposed to this one? Do you fit with this actor as opposed to this one? How are y'all going to look on screen? Because now on screen that's negligible. Because if Batman's will be 6'2", that's fine. But if he has a Robin with him, they have to look like that. If I'm 6'2", Robin has to be 5'10". You know what I'm saying? He has to be the big brother, father figure type.
Right.
So the height does play into that.
Right.
Height does play into that, especially as Robin, not Nightwing. We haven't got to that point yet.
I know. If they do Nightfall, I want him to be Nightwing, because there's such a story between those two. How Bruce is like a father, but he's not at the same time, and
Right.
he distanced himself so much because he cares, but that's not what Dick wanted when he was growing up.
Right.
And that plays in that story. And the fact that he gets, I think his name is Azrael or whatever.
Yeah.
They get him to be the fill-in Batman.
Yeah.
I think
And he almost killed every fucking body.
I think that would be an amazing 2-part story. Like, they could easily make...
Now, would you make the next Batman movie a 2-parter?
Yes.
That's a lot to ask for.
Well, I mean, a 3-parter of Nightfall, I think it might be a little much.
But I'm saying the next
like the last
Pattinson movie, would that be
I think if you
a
make,
part 1 and the next one be the part 2?
Oh, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, technically, this is already part 1 already because the way Gotham's been left in The Batman.
right. And then you got to worry about this guy with the chemical burns in his face talking to Riddler. That's what be Joker.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
Did you see the deleted scene?
yes, everybody had, and everybody's like, where's the? And
I'm so glad they took that out.
yeah, because it would have been now.
That was horrible. It was completely unnecessary. Like everything that was covered in that conversation was covered throughout the movie.
Right.
It would have been complete repeat.
But at least it was enough from that little scene with him and Riddler that you know something's coming.
I've heard one theory that part of the reason why it was cut is maybe they want to redesign the Joker because he's like too disfigured and it's like trying to be too much like Heath Ledger.
Well,
which
no,
I'm completely
that's
completely behind if
oranges.
they want to do no. I'm completely behind if they want to do a redesign because I didn't like the scene and I didn't like how the Joker looked. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. It wasn't the Joker. It was a caricature of the Joker.
Yeah, but you knew who it was. You knew who it was.
I've
From
seen
the little bit of the hair you saw.
I've seen the actor before.
Barry something. I can't pronounce his
I
last
thought you were
name.
talking about the actor.
No.
No, it's just the fact that he has like his hair has been torn out and he's completely and utterly disfigures like
the chemical. That's from the chemicals.
Yeah, but he's like it's instead of just his face, it's like he's got
his hair is green.
Warts and shit.
It's just burned.
I just don't like it. I don't like the look. It just if they're gonna do something crazy like that, do the Joker that wears a face. If you're gonna do something crazy like that, do a Joker that wears a face, not
whose face already fucked up.
Not try to make up a whole new Joker and try to chase after Heath Ledger. Stop trying to chase after Heath Ledger. That is a lightning in a bottle, can't be captured twice kind of a deal.
But Heath Ledger's wasn't chemical; it was psychological.
Right, but I'm saying the whole approach to it, the whole acting style, the whole like mysterious but damaged figure. That's what they're trying to go for. It's like, don't.
But he is a mysterious damaged figure. But at least
there's other ways of achieving that, and I just see.
But they already did it. Though.
I just see them chasing Heath Ledger.
But they already I don't because
Jared Leto wasn't a good Joker, but at least it was.
I liked
different.
him. I thought he was. I
gave him a pass because he wasn't really in the Suicide Squad. Well, in Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad.
Right.
I didn't see the extended cuts. And then I saw him come back for the end of the Snyder cut.
Right. I liked it. It didn't bother me.
Nope. Nope.
Everybody to each his own. The express views written. Excuse me. The express views and concerns of Steve McCall are his and his alone. But no, I get what you're saying. But at least with this guy from the Batman, it's Joker with the chemicals. Jack Nicholson's was already psychologically unstable anyway. The chemicals just made it worse.
Right.
The gunshot caused the permanent smile.
Right.
Heath Ledger's was, he was just already messed up in the head anyway. The scars came from his own doing. We got that. At least with this next round, it will be from the chemicals. Everything's from the chemicals. So will they try to cover him as a comedian, as a family man who's down on his luck?
I don't even want that. I think just give the Jokers that's wearing a face. That is messed up enough.
He is wearing a face, but that face is caused by
physically carved off skin over his head. That is messed up enough. The rest of the performances will be played out through that costume alone.
Can this kid pull it off? He did it for that little scene where he's talking to Riddler, and they got something going.
That worked, yes.
It can work. I think it can work. Like I said, I see what you're saying, but the way that they're going is something different. They're going to show you. They're going to show you this kid Barry, whatever his last name is.
I think it would work.
They're going to show this kid fucked up. Or they might show...
But I don't like the design. Just give us a Joker that's wearing a physical face.
What do you mean wearing what do you mean by that, wearing a physical face?
He cut off someone else's face.
No.
And he's wearing that.
That's Buffalo Bill from Science of the Lambs. You know what I'm saying? Like, his face is the joke.
It's
because he's had that permanent smile.
One thing that Nicholson said to Keaton, they were in the costume chairs together.
Right.
Keaton told this to one of his talk show hosts when he was promoting the movie.
Right.
Like, Nicholson looks over and says, "Well, kid, it's time for the costumes to do all the work," or something like that.
Oh shit!
It's like once it's on you, like, you know what to do. Something like that. I don't know.
But with Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, it was all about the performance.
Right.
How they looked.
I think the performance would come through if you have someone that's so deranged he's wearing someone else's face.
That could work, but I don't think they're going to go that route.
I think it would be. I think it would be perfect for the Matt Reeves universe.
With Jack Nicholson, it could happen, but I don't think they'll go that route because it was done on Gotham.
I still don't like the design.
They tried it on Gotham.
Yeah, but that's a TV show.
But still.
And a different director and writer and all that stuff.
True.
I don't like the design of this Joker. I just don't. He can be acting his ass off, and I could really like it.
But you still.
But that face is like which is the point. You kind of want to punch the Joker.
Right. Every version of him you want to. That's what I like Jared Leto's, because he brought that out of Ben Affleck.
But what they did in Snyder Cuts, I just
everyone who's ever seen the Joker, no matter what version it is, he makes you talk to him like that.
No. Here we'll satisfy all the fans.
Right.
CGI Joker, Mark Hamill as the voice.
Come on now. That would just be nasty. That just would not work. But you know what? Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to make their own movie out of it and do it. What? Now you said that, why somebody's going to do that? But no matter what version of Joker it is, Joker makes you want to hit him, which is in a way what he wants you to do.
Yeah.
But
he's trying to break you.
Right. Adam West didn't do it. Kevin Conroy, our God on Earth, Kevin Conroy, he didn't do it. Ben Affleck will make you fucking. Ben Affleck wants to do it.
Right.
And he said in that little deleted scene, extra scene.
Kevin Conroy did do it as live action Batman.
Oh yeah, that's something different. But I'm just saying, for the most part, if you had to put your hands on Joker, you can, but to a point, because you know he's crazy anyway.
Right.
So the only way to physically stop him is to kill him. And every Batman doesn't do that. They've done it before in books here and there, certain lines of comic books, things like that. But I love when Ben Affleck says to him, make no mistake, I'm going to fucking kill you. Now, I was like, oh wow. Finally a Batman who says it.
But that's Zack Snyder's Batman.
It didn't bother me. It didn't bother me.
I mean,
Daredevil would never say it.
It doesn't bother me as much. It's just
Daredevil. Matt Murdock believes in the law. He wouldn't say it.
Again, it comes to Zack Snyder's storytelling. I just don't like it. You can have a Batman that wants to kill the Joker because he's finally gotten to that point.
Yes.
But I just don't like how Zack Snyder tells the story. I just don't like it.
All right, well, apples and oranges again, ladies and gentlemen. Next.
Okay, so here's a. Have you?
What?
This is multi-layered.
Oh shit.
Are there villains that you have cheered for and wanted to see win? And have you watched Heroes and or The Boys?
I'm not up on this new season of The Boys yet. I haven't watched it
finished
yet.
watching it today.
I like the show. It's very different.
Okay, so we can kind of talk about that, but did you
right.
see Heroes?
The old TV show Heroes?
Yeah.
Nah, or the other one, Reborn. I didn't really get into it.
All right.
I understood it before
right,
the.
So you're familiar with Homelander?
Yes.
Okay.
Captain America, who's a complete asshole.
No.
If Captain America, if Superman was a complete asshole, it'd be Homelander.
Okay. Now I'll give you. I only asked this. Well, okay, because the other villain, Homelander is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The other villain is.
This supposed to be Heroes. That's
Sylar.
the funny part. This supposed to be
The
Heroes.
other villain is Sylar from Heroes. Sylar is.
Which one? I don't know.
He is. So Heroes, they're mutants. They don't call them that in the
Right.
show because of, I guess, copyright.
Copyright, yeah.
But he goes around. He's a serial killer of people with abilities, and
Oh,
he takes
okay.
their abilities.
Oh wow.
And he
okay.
gets very powerful. And so is another character named Chris or something like that, who's the same, but he's the good version.
Right.
And so, really, so I just set that up.
Okay.
So do you have villains that you rooted for and just wanted to win?
I don't know, because when it's just pure death and destruction, it's hard to get behind that.
But if
When
they're
it's-
building them up, if you like their build up, do you like their story?
Yeah, because you want to see what made them this way, and you want to see what their end game is.
Right.
It's like watching the movie Heat. You know they're bad guys, but you want to see them get away with this money because it's the government. Fuck them. Get the government's money. It's the bank's money. Whatever. So yeah, there's got to be a reason why. If you're the powerful drug lord, but you love your kids, they always throw that in there because they're not evil just for the hell of it. They're not evil because they enjoy it. They're evil because they have to be. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see you get away with the diamonds and the money, but have a good reason. I know there's no proper reason on earth to steal and kill. I got all that. But to them, it is. So it's the drug dealer with the heart of gold, in a way.
Right, but that's...
For instance, perfect example. Some of y'all might have seen this movie. Some people probably hated it. The very first, From Dusk Till Dawn.
I love that movie.
Okay. George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino play brothers. But Quentin Tarantino is a fucking sex offender who can't get his head right.
Right.
And the scene where they kill the hostage, when Quentin Tarantino kills the hostage, and he says, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you do that?" He said, "Well, she didn't obey me. She didn't do this, that, and the other." I love the little line, talked about this before, those little lines that work for me. When George Clooney says, "I am a thief. I do not kill people that I don't have to."
Right.
You killed her and you didn't have to. So I like that. Yes, I'm an asshole, but I'm an asshole to a point. Because even in prison, the rapists are on the bottom of the fucking totem pole. They're not respected, they're not liked.
Oh, the pedos are on the bottom.
That's what I'm saying. So,
okay, I get what you're saying.
Right, so
They're all horrible.
they're all horrible. But even the guy who killed 5 people in the fucking bank is more respected because he's trying to kill for money
Right.
to take care of something.
Right.
Not a personal mental fucking flaw with you.
I get what you're saying, but what I mean is there's no chance of redemption. There's no good reason. Are there villains out there that are just evil?
Yes.
But they're really good at being evil, and you like their backstory, and you just want to see them win.
Joker, no.
I have two. I have Sylar and I have Homelander. But I want to hear your explanation before I go off because I got a lot to say.
Not really, because I always liked Kingpin. Because Kingpin enjoyed it, but he loved his wife. And he would do anything for her because he grew up with nothing. So he wants to spoil her and give her everything she wants. And even every criminal who has that spoil their children to a point, or their wives or whatever. If you saw the Punisher movie with Tom Jane, even after he slaughters Frank Castle's family, he gets his wife a pair of Harry-Winston earrings. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to pick someone that's redeemable like that because I've never seen it. I don't want to see. I like to see where they're going, and I want to see why. But I've never want to see them win that much. I don't think so. It's like the first Die Hard movie. The intrigue of locking the building down and getting it, and then see what they're after. Like, oh shit, I get it. But you didn't want to see them kill people to get it.
Right.
You understand why,
Yeah.
but you don't want to see that.
I think I'm more fucked up than you are.
Probably. Like I said, I don't. Any redeemable villain you can think of? I mean, Kingpin, Joker.
No, non-redeemable.
Oh shit! I mean,
non-redeemable. Like Homelander and
maybe
are non-redeemable. Even though
they need help. The ones that, you need the ones who need help.
Keep going. I'm going to check on the camera.
Okay, the ones who needs help, like Two-Face, you can try, and they've tried it and it doesn't always work, which is kind of annoying because the revolving door, which is Arkham Asylum, it just keeps happening over and over again. Excuse me. I don't know. I can't. You have to light me on that one because I haven't. Like Hogan's a rapist. He's an asshole.
Okay, so
he murders on a mass scale.
All right, so you're familiar with Homelander.
Yeah.
He's test tube superhuman.
If Superman was an asshole, this is Homelander.
Yeah, that basically. Sylar, he kind of had a rough upbringing, and then he found that he had these abilities, and he wants to see the world burn.
We all know that story.
And so he collects all these abilities, and they keep on teasing this. Oh, Peter. The other guy's name is Peter. He can collect abilities.
Okay.
They keep on teasing this battle, and they even show it because they time jump sometimes. They even show them fighting. Well, kind of. They show them clash, but they don't actually show them fighting, which was frustrating. I wanted to see Sylar just kill everyone.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
Because of his upbringing, so you feel sorry for him.
No, it's not even that. It's just like there's two instances I want to see the villain win: Sylar and Homelander, and I can't explain why. Probably because it's different. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like you always see the good guys overcome, even if it's by a hair.
Right.
But for once, I want to see the villain just win. And it's Sylar and Homelander I want to see win.
Why Homelander, though?
I'll get there. Sylar, they built up to be this big guy, and then this is why I'm not as much of a fan of heroes as I am other, like, super power people stuff. Because the first season of Heroes is amazing. Second season, eh. Third season, I absolutely hate because they essentially castrate Sylar. They take away his abilities. You can have like maybe one at a time. They do that to Peter too. Like Peter can only absorb one ability at a time instead of accumulating abilities.
Right.
They were building something so huge and epic, and they just like, well, part of the reason was the writer's strike between the first season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that.
Yeah.
And the fourth season gets a little better, but they just castrate Sylar, who was this powerhouse that was on a mission. I was like, yes, do it.
Right.
I want to see this battle between him and Peter.
Right.
Not so much him slaughtering everyone, even though it's enjoyable. Because it's like in the first season, it's like this murder mystery. It's like these people are dying in all these weird ways.
Right.
And why is he like cutting off the top of their skull and like what's he doing?
Right.
They thought he was eating their brains, and like no, it was like no, he was cutting off the skull and he was putting his finger in there, and it was. But then later on, you find out he doesn't have to do all of that. He's just a psychopath
Who enjoys it.
which is so. I find it very amusing. I find it very entertaining. I just wanted to see him win, and they fucked him. Homelander. Here's my gripe with Homelander.
Okay.
He is the most powerful being in the world.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
They even said they nuked him and he survived.
Okay.
Why isn't he the ruler of the earth? I need attention. I need to be loved. And they bring that up in the third season. And they're starting to unravel him a little more, and he's starting to become a little more like unhinged in the third. But it's by the very end of the third season where it's like finally happens. Like you saw in like this, I think the second season where he had the fantasy of just killing that entire mob with his laser eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, no, just do it.
Right.
I want to see him just fucking kill everyone.
And
Now in the third season, he mentions, because he's having a conversation with Starlight.
Right.
She says, "I'll show the footage of that flight that you let die."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, he says, "Okay, go ahead and do it."
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to go after the Pentagon. I'm going to go after this strategic place. This is like, yes, do it. I just want to fucking see, like, fuck everything up because he is. There's no reason other than I need attention.
Then why is he under such control then?
Because he needs love and attention. He is mentally he's
got mommy
weakness
issues and shit.
His weakness is that he's mentally fucked up.
Right.
That is it. I just want to see him go unhinged and become ruler of the world because there is literally nothing stopping him. But even in this third season, he's really just dragging his feet getting there. And it's just
that storyline. That's what
I just want to like.
And he's the one now.
It should be a fourth season of The Boys. That should be it, and Homelander should win. I just want Homelander to win.
So he'll be the absolute ruler of the planet Earth. And then what?
Whatever humans he decides to leave.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he sees humans as inferior, which
quite literally,
they literally are. And there's even soups that he finds in series. Because you remember the one where there was a blind superhero.
Really?
There was a blind superhero in the first and second season.
Okay.
And he gets introduced to Homelander. And Homelander's like, what if I do this? And he slaps his ears.
Right.
And he slaps him so hard he starts bleeding.
Oh,
and
shit.
presumably dies because he's supposed to see like a bat, like
radar.
Daredevil.
Radar.
Yeah, he's like
radar.
He's like this universe's of Daredevil.
Okay.
He's blind, but he can see because of sonar radar.
Right.
But Homelander slaps his ear so hard he starts bleeding, and he presumably dies. It's like, more please.
Jesus.
Like there's superheroes that he finds inferior. Like there would probably be like maybe 1,000 people left on the planet because Homelander's Homelander.
Right.
I just want to see that. I want to see the bad guy win for once. It's
in this show though, like
yes.
But why?
So often you see the good guys win. I just want to see like the movie Life. I think I've talked about it before. I mentioned it. I didn't go into spoilers in my review, but the movie Life is essentially the first Alien movie.
The movie Life? Which one?
The movie Life, it stars Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal. Came out 6 years ago.
Never saw that one.
It's basically the movie Alien, but it happens in orbit instead of galaxies, light years away or whatever.
Right.
The alien wins.
Right.
Because I was watching the movie, I was like, wouldn't it be really cool if the alien won? The alien wins. I was like, yes!
For that one, it did.
Yes.
Okay.
I love stuff like that. Like, turn it on its head.
Oh, they were astronauts and the ship was coming back and they okay.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but I remember.
I want to see something different. We know, that's why, like,
but you know what?
It's intense watching Homelander be around normal people. He could kill them on a whim.
But that's too easy.
But yeah, it is too easy.
It's too easy.
But you know, even though it's going to be very difficult and they might only win by a ball hair, the good guys will triumph. Which, like, I'm sick of it. I want one villain to win, and I want it to be Homelander. I want him to this fourth season. I want him to win.
So there's a movie you need to see, and you've probably seen it, called Arlington Road.
Arlington Road? Okay.
Jeff Bridges, Tim Robbins, Joan Cusack. You'll like it. You want to see the bad guys win? Watch that one. Everybody seen Arlington Road? Is what I'm talking about. But take you for a ride, you'll be like, oh shit! But you'll like it. You heard it here first. I told them, Arlington Road. Arlington Road. Trust me, you'll like that one.
But you can't think of any villains or
I'm trying.
You just want to watch them win?
I don't want to watch. See, I don't mind the bad guys. I don't mind the good guys losing as long as they come back.
See, I don't
mind that either. That's too formulaic.
I don't mind that either because you got Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
That works out great.
Because Infinity War to me for a while, like, oh my god, oh shit, oh that's fuck.
But there's never a time where you just want to see the villain win, period. There's no comeback. You never want to see that? Because it's just interesting.
It is interesting. the first time I noticed it, where I noticed that the good guys lost, was Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I was like,
but again, there's another
but as a
story
kid, you
after
gotta remember,
that.
I was a kid,
Right.
so I didn't get it. I remember the first one, the Blood Death Star and Darth Vader flew away. I didn't pay any attention as a kid. I just knew the good guys won. They all got medals. It was a big deal.
Right.
But to see them get beat down and captured, and to see Harrison Ford into the carbon, I was like, oh my God. And then I gotta remember, I was a kid.
Right.
So in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, Raiders of the Lost Ark comes out in between. So as a kid, I'm like, wait a minute. This dude is frozen. You see what I'm saying? As a kid, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
Because here it is, Harrison Ford. I'm like, wait a minute. Why is he here?
Right.
And you know what I mean? As a kid, you don't get it.
Believing in Santa days.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck is he here? And he's, you know, you don't know. But I don't mind the bad guys taking a loss, but they come back. Perfect. Another example of what I mean.
Bad guys are the good guys.
The bad guys, I mean, the good guys
Taking a
loss and come back. Because I remember liking, or loving rather, Justice League anime series.
Mm-hmm.
And Unlimited. Oh my God, I love them. I bought them on DVD before streaming was even thought of. And there's a couple episodes where they take a loss. There's it where it's not bad, but enough. Like, oh shit, we got to do this, we got to do that.
The good guys can't just dominate the villain. That's
right.
boring.
They can't be perfect.
And the villain can't strictly. Well, I mean, Thanos kind of dominates them in Infinity War.
Right.
But it can't always happen that way.
No, it can't always happen that way.
But that's my argument.
But you want to see him. So you want to see the bad guy win. That's just fucking end of the movie.
Yes, that's my argument. I want to see it at least once, and I want to see it with Homelander.
They might go that route.
Because I
knows?
was kind of on the fence about watching the third season of The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm again on the fence about seeing the fourth season of The Boys because they're probably just going to have the good guys win. Why can't they just have Homelander win? Why can't they have Apocalypse? I don't get
Jesus
it.
Christ, that would be insane. Not to mention, but here's the thing about them: you don't want the assholes to get over.
I don't even care.
Because A-Train is an asshole.
Right.
That's
a character.
That first scene where he killed that guy's girlfriend.
Him and Deep.
And just stopped and like, oh my bad, and it kept going. Like,
him
what
and
the
Deep
fuck?
are two useless characters in that. They have character arcs that go nowhere.
Yeah.
They keep on being the same exact person. Homelander is almost at that point. They've added they've
got him fucked up. When he's a grown man getting breastfed by Elizabeth Shue, which isn't a bad thing. But I'm just saying, like, dude, what is wrong with you? But you get it. But you still want to see someone like that dominate?
Yes.
So you want to see you want to see a god with mommy issues.
You don't see it normally.
No, you don't.
That's why it would be so interesting. You
know who to call about that?
Once in a while, the villain should win, just outright.
But it's happened. It's happened
in
movies, and you've seen it. Everybody doesn't get found guilty in Law and Order. Some people get found not guilty, and you know they did it. You know what I'm saying?
Law and Order.
I'm just saying,
prosecutors win most of the time.
Not all the time.
I've seen most of the time.
Well, when it happens,
I've seen enough of Law and Order that like
any of them. I'm just saying sometimes
the wins quite a lot.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying quite a lot.
Yeah, I get.
It's more. It's like 80% of the time they're winning in Law and Order.
Maybe. Now, when you mean winning, you mean they found guilty or a person just pleads out and goes to jail?
No, they're found guilty.
They're found guilty.
All the evidence points to them being guilty.
Because I've seen quite a few, and we've all seen quite a few.
Now, in Law and Order, they've had okay, we're going after this person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that person. It's this person.
Right.
But they always end up getting a guilty verdict.
It's not all the time, though.
Almost.
80%. Because I've seen quite a few. I can't remember right now, of course, where the person is found not guilty because of something they just didn't believe it or did believe it. Or they heard something that triggered for them.
I never really thought of it in that aspect. I mostly looked at it at people with abilities.
Oh, okay.
Like when people are evil with abilities, I don't know what it is.
Here's an ability.
Only these two characters, Sylar and Homelander.
Well, here's a fucked up ability, and this happens on an episode of Law and Order. They found out this doctor was using his own sperm to get his patients pregnant.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
And he beat the case because no one would testify against him. Nobody testified against him. They were all these miracle babies and blah, 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 blah. And they wanted them so bad because it's fucked up and it's illegal to do that. But the guy walks out of the goddamn building cocky, like Homelander in a sense.
Well, okay, I think...
But you know what he says? One of those moments where it's that you can't handle the truth type of line. The guy says, these women come to me barren, desolate. They want a baby, blah, 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 blah. You know, he tells McCoy, God doesn't make babies, counselor. I do.
That's
now that's something that Homelander would say, like, I do this, not y'all. I'm good at this.
I see that as different because that's creepy realistic.
And what? I know The Boys is fancy, but Homelander is creepy.
I know, but I mean, like...
That character is
You don't
creepy.
root for that kind of villain because that kind of villain could actually exist. So that's different. That's why, that's why if they have abilities and they can clearly just dominate... You just want to see them dominate, or at least I want to see Sylar and Homelander dominate. Now, Heroes is dead and buried.
Right.
I didn't even watch Reborn. I didn't bother.
No.
But...
So you think the series finale of The Boys...
is just Homelander winning?
Because there's nothing that can... There's nothing that kills him.
Well, okay.
Is there anything that I haven't...
Watch the third one.
Okay. Third
season.
I haven't watched it yet.
Third season, he is vulnerable. Like, physically.
Okay.
The first time they show him being that way.
Okay.
But, I mean, I was in the first or the second season, they said he got hit with a nuke and lived. So...
Jesus. That happened to Superman before.
Maybe there's
Superman been in the middle of a nuclear blast.
Maybe they're not paying attention to that one line they had in one of the seasons, and they're just guys like, oh, no, he can be vulnerable.
I'm very curious
it just takes other superhumans stronger or just about as strong as him to do it.
I'm very curious as to how that show's going to end with that character.
Well, I hope it's only 4 seasons long, because it's getting tiresome. I'm getting tired
I like
of
it because it's different. It's not the usual superhero stuff. Superheroes can be human, they can be assholes, but they're run by a corporation that tells them what to do, what to say.
But it's just kind of the same storyline. The heroes get so much ground, and then they lose almost twice as much ground and stuff like. It's just.
Yeah, I get that.
You've seen it again and again. It's just a different twist on the story, and I want to see the ultimate twist where Homelander wins.
You might. That's the crazy part. You just might see that.
That would be amazing.
But see, doesn't it come from a comic book, graphic novel or something?
Yeah, that, and I haven't seen Invincible. I want to see Invincible.
That's insane.
Yeah, I've heard
Invincible
good things
is insane. You talk about a bad guy with no morals? God almighty. Just the fact that there's a scene where the people on his planet have to fight each other to see who gets to go to Earth and do it. Yes. So it's a fight to the death.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's a fight
aliens.
It's a fight to the death on this planet to see who goes and does this.
Wow.
So it's the ultimate Royal Rumble, except getting your feet instead of throwing on top rope, both feet in the floor, you get killed. So as soon as one person punches the shit out of somebody else and kills them, then they could get killed instantly, just in a fight. Just imagine the Braveheart type battle in the sky. These people are fucking crazy.
Huh.
It's insane. And
I'm definitely going to have to watch that now. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I just thought it was like... I thought it was similar to The Boys, like where
super
abilities, superhumans exist, and one of them has a son.
But there's a whole bunch of them, and they all have weird-ass... One girl has the female-male symbol on her. I forget how it goes. But it's on Amazon. Right? Yeah, Amazon. Invincible. It's... Whoo! You want a bad guy to win? Check that out.
Okay, I'll check that out.
So then between that, Totem, and Arlington Road, that's your next assignment. Okay? I'm telling you, want to see the bad guy get over? This is it. And here's the funny part. Now, years ago in movies, not so much the supernatural, superhero stuff, because they couldn't do it back then anyway. A lot of movies back then in the 30s and 40s, the bad guy couldn't get away.
Right.
So even, because there's an old movie by Al Capone, that Rod Steiger, the late Rod Steiger, played Al Capone in a movie years ago. And in the movie, he got sent to jail and got beat up. But that's not what happened to Al Capone in real life. but they couldn't have him win and beat the government in real life. But any true story or any movie like a movie like Heat couldn't have been done in the 40s.
Right.
They would have all got killed. Not where someone gets away or someone gets caught. They couldn't do that. Movies back then, the bad guy had to get caught because he didn't want. They were still trying to teach a moral lesson.
Right.
Hollywood, of all places, trying to teach a moral lesson. That's you know what I'm saying? That's insane.
Right.
That's, trying to get race relations advice from Adolf Hitler. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
It just doesn't work. So, you know what I'm saying? So
that would be a really funny bit. He wouldn't even have to say anything. He'd just turn over. What do you think? No.
No. Well, your boy, the director, Taika Waititi. Jojo Rabbit. You saw that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, God.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Is it good?
It is good.
I want to see
This little boy in the middle of Nazi Germany, his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler.
Oh, my God.
Yes. His imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler.
Oh, man.
But he's like being funny. And what's the girl name? She just lost all the fucking weight. Wilson. Rebel Wilson.
Sure.
She's Australian. Blonde-haired girl. She's Australian and she just lost all this fucking weight. But she was still chubby in this movie and she was going over with the kids how to burn books. Teaching them how to properly burn books.
But it completely satirizes the Nazis, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm saying that style of humor, and even the bad guys are getting over. And this little boy doesn't know any better. You see what I'm saying? He thinks Jews are this, that, and the third.
I really should have seen it when it was in theaters.
Yes. Oh, God. Here's what I want to understand. Every movie, you have to pitch it. Correct?
Right.
How do you pitch a movie about Nazi Germany where a child's imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler?
Yeah, well...
How do you, to a room of mostly Jewish faith people, how do you pitch that idea?
You don't know that for certain, but imagine what Mel Brooks had to go through to get the
That's what I'm
producers done in
saying.
the 60s.
Yes! And for him to dress up as Hitler in the History of the World movies. You ever see those?
Yeah.
He dressed up like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, he got a lot of flack for
Of course he
his
did.
movies, but he kept on saying, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
well, it's just as funny as Blazing Saddles, which he did,
Yes.
with Cleavon Little, got the Klan uniform on.
I've seen people react to Blazing Saddles,
Right.
like black people.
Yeah.
I was surprised at their reactions. Like I was expecting them to get angry
No,
because
it
a
was
certain
funny.
word gets used over and over.
Yes. That word that shall say nameless, negligent neighbor. Negligent, was it negligent neighbor? Neglectful. What's that word? You know what I'm talking about. Steve won't say it.
My lips are sealed. What'd you say?
Steve won't say it.
Of course I'm not going to say it.
But, and here's the funny part. The studio didn't want Richard Pryor for the role. That's how Cleavon Little got it. It was supposed to be Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder again, over the first time or whatever. But then they thought Richard Pryor was too dirty. That's how Cleavon Little got it. And he wasn't a Klan
Yeah.
part. So imagine that took
That
for
movie
him.
could not be made today.
No, because there'd be some sensitive ass group of mama's boys who only, cancel culture. While we're on that, with movies, everything. I understand if you don't like something.
Then don't watch it.
Right. But don't launch a campaign for the whole world not to watch it.
Right.
That bothers me. 2, we've all seen Dave Chappelle's joints, The Closure and all that. I watched it 4 or 5 times. Yes, he's made jokes that were funny, and some I didn't find that funny. But he had gay and lesbian women in the audience that laughed as well. There was some jokes they laughed at, some they didn't, but they understood what he was saying.
Right.
There was no hate anywhere in the jokes. Just because you didn't like them doesn't mean it was hateful. You heard what you wanted to hear to trigger you into thinking, or to saying rather, it's bad for you. As in George Carlin said, oh, it's bad. No, it's not. George Carlin's last routine was called, it's all bullshit, it's bad for you.
Yeah.
Everything is not bad for you. It's bad for you.
Right.
Don't make it bad for everyone. There's a difference. I don't care what the joke is. And I've heard jokes that bothered me, but I don't launch a campaign against the comedian.
Yeah, I mean, same here. It's like I just kind of roll my eyes and walk away.
Right. But it doesn't mean, let me tell you something. There was no homophobic or transgender jokes in the closer that would make. There's even a comedian named Flame Monroe, who was a black man who puts on a dress wig and high heel shoes to go on stage. And he even said that was funny. He said there was no hate in that at all. None. Because he even said it. Dave Chappelle made a reference about a gay white man in America. He said, let me tell you something. And then Flame Monroe said it. A gay white man in America is still what? A white man in America. You can be a gay white man and hide it. You can't be a gay black man and hide all that. You might be found infected. Get back, can't find them black. You see what I'm saying?
I think it depends. Because, I mean, you have... Not every gay guy is flamboyant.
This is true.
So
that's another thing. That's a stereotype. They're not all flamboyant.
Right.
But when there was a woman on a talk show...
And not all lesbians are butch.
This is true. Because there was... Here's the problem. Every group of people have a stereotype against them. Right. It's true to a point. That's where stereotypes come from, a little bit of truth. In the 80s, you saw this a lot, where every goddamn Asian character had a camera. All the time. No matter what, they all had cameras. Every comedy that had Asians in, they all had cameras. That's kind of a stereotype. Everywhere you go, skiing, we had cameras. College camps, we had cameras. They all had cameras. Let me think. Like you said, I know this woman on talk shows, and she said she has a gay brother. And she said her brother hates it when there's a gay character in the movie who's always flamboyant and flaming. We're not all like that.
Yeah.
I used to work for this restaurant where the guy who owned the restaurant was Italian. And he lived in Jersey. And he said he had friends and neighbors that didn't watch The Sopranos. Stereotypical. They don't want to be, they get tired of that.
Right.
You know, every movie with an Asian character in it doesn't all know Kung Fu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as a kid, I remember thinking that as a kid, they all knew it. No, they don't. That's just a stereotype.
Yeah.
Okay? I can sit here and eat a piece of fried chicken. It doesn't mean it's the end of the fucking world.
Yeah.
You can have a plate of...
What you see on the screen does not equal the world.
Right.
It doesn't equal
and
reality.
That's what they need to understand that.
Right.
But you can't cancel someone or a show because, oh my God, the whole world is going to come... Right. You can't function like that. Imagine if you didn't do anything at all because one person always said you shouldn't do it. You wouldn't accomplish anything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go to work, you wouldn't go to school, you wouldn't leave your house. You wouldn't even have a house. If just one person tried to cancel you from doing what you know is true to you. You got a podcast. Some people tell jokes. Some people write songs, write movies, write screenplays, whatever it is. You can't cancel someone's career just because you don't like it.
Right.
And what is wrong with you when you want to get everyone on your side against somebody or against something just because you don't like it? So now, if I can't get you to agree with me, that there's something wrong with you. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the LGBTQ community. So if this gay people think Dave Chappelle is funny, but these gay people over here think he's not, he should be canceled, these people will think something wrong with them. Why aren't you agreeing with us? That's evil, that's wrong. No, it's not, it's funny.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with you. No, there's not. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. And that's where cancel culture comes in. It's fucking peer pressure for adults or something. All the cool kids are protesting. Why aren't you protesting?
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking protest.
People forget we all have a choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here it is.
We can choose to be offended or not.
Right.
And okay, you don't always choose to be offended.
No.
It just makes you feel bad.
Right.
But what you do with that feeling is the choice.
Right.
You and I choose to just keep on going.
Exactly.
We're not going to let it bother us.
No. And I understand if something does bother you, yeah, speak on it and speak your mind.
Right.
But I'm not going to launch a campaign against a television show if I don't like it, I don't like it.
One of the key purposes of free speech is that all the ideas are out there.
Right.
The bad ones will be weeded out.
Yes. And just because it's bad doesn't necessarily mean it's evil.
Right.
At the same time. You know what I mean?
And sometimes there might be a few things within a bad idea that actually can work.
Right.
But you have to have the conversation to get there.
And they don't want to have the conversation.
Right.
They rather just cancel it altogether instead of coming to the table and sitting down and talking about it.
Nothing gets, like you said, nothing gets done that way.
No.
You can't go anywhere with that way. All you get is a very sterile world.
Right.
It's boring.
And you can't function that way. Perfect example of kind of a boring world. But even Howard Stern made this joke, I think. I think he made this joke. He had Eddie Griffin on his show one time. And if you ever saw Undercover Brother, you ever see that?
Yeah, I really.
Chris Kattan's formula was to make the whole world white. Yeah, that was the man's plan. To put something in the water or something to make the whole world was gonna be white.
Ugh.
And like, we can't have that. I was like, no, we can't have that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's the joke. that would be so boring and so bland and so, oh God, like it wouldn't work. That was the joke.
Right.
That and Chris Kattan sent in his secret weapon to stop Undercover Brother. What he called black man's kryptonite.
Yeah.
Which was an attractive white woman.
Right.
I'm like, oh, here we go. Which I didn't make any, you know what I'm saying? So, but I didn't make any bad judgments about that joke because I thought it was funny.
You gotta be able to laugh at the stereotypes sometimes.
Yes. Because there is a little bit of truth to it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just on what you say and how you say it.
Look at me, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a freaking ginger. I'm Irish as hell.
Right.
And there's like a billion like Irish drunk jokes you could probably tell.
Yes.
I'm gonna laugh at most of them.
Right. But if one bothers you, you're like, yo, come, like, dude, calm down. Like,
I just thought of it. My grandmom has a good joke. Why would I want to watch boxing? I can just go to a bar and watch two Irishmen fight.
oh shit. But see, your grandma can get away with that because it fits the context of what she's saying. Now, somebody would still hear that and get offended.
Yeah, someone would, but I mean,
Grandma, why would you say something like that? That's offensive to all of us. Oh, get over it.
yeah.
If your grandma's
she would say that too.
Yeah, get over it. Like, come on. I'm too old to hold back what I think.
Right.
I'm too fucking old. So I agree with her on that. But if she made a joke that somebody didn't find funny, doesn't mean you cancel your grandmother.
Right.
Goddamn, like, it's your grandmother. So, as far as go back to your original point of redemption in villains, I don't know.
No redemption.
No redemption. I can't think of one right now. And there's plenty of villains out there to choose from. God almighty, there is.
Right, but I've only been able to think of two.
Now you can have me up all night.
Because of the way the story has been progressing for both of them, it's just like, I don't know. I never actually consciously thought about it.
Mm.
I never actually came up with the why until really this conversation.
Right.
It's just something watching this story is like, I want to see them win. I just want to see them win. I don't
But
care.
why do you want to see them win?
Because it's different.
Okay.
It's different. Just like the movie Life I told you about.
Right.
It's different. The alien wins in that one.
Well, right.
So I want to see the villain win. Most stories, I want to see the good guys win.
Right.
But there are exceptions, and Heroes was one of them.
Right.
Rest in peace. The Boys is another one.
That's just a crazy fucking story, period.
I want it to be a fourth season.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to end of the fourth season, and I want Homelander on top.
So you want the series finale, when this show's all said and done.
I want it to be black and crisp because he used his laser eyes to burn everything.
So he went to the fucking Pentagon and just killed every fucking body.
Well, no, the entire world.
The entire world, just whatever. So what's left?
He could just fly over and just like and just kill people the ants that he thinks they are.
Right. That'd be a hell of an ending. Because once you do that, what do you have?
Exactly. That's the ultimate tragedy for him.
Because he has nothing, because he destroyed it all.
Right.
So you have nothing. There's nothing to look back at and say that's mine.
That's so much more intriguing than the good guys winning. Like
that's insane, though. Because if you destroy it all for the most part, and once you sit back and admire your carnage over the scene, what do you have?
It would be the ultimate self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's all it would be.
Yeah.
That's, like you said, that's
I would like
sitting
to see
back
that.
and watching the world burn.
Yep.
That's Nero playing the fucking violin as Roman's burning. And you're enjoying it. Like, yeah, fuck him. So, but it would have to end because there's no pieces to pick up after that.
Exactly.
Because
that's another gripe.
how do you redeem someone who's completely irredeemable? You can't.
That's another gripe I have with TV shows in general.
What?
A good number of them have gone on for way too long. This is kind of out of what we're talking about, but not really. But the one that comes to mind is Big Bang Theory. Now, I've only seen 4 seasons of that.
It lasted about
8 or 9 or more.
About 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah. I got bored with it after the 4 seasons. I didn't watch any of it, even though they had a lot of great cameos afterwards.
I finished it.
Its charm was gone. I think if they would have made it 4, maybe 5 seasons of them being dorky, nerdy guys.
They were. To the very end.
Yeah, but the thing
is... the part you didn't like? When they started having girlfriends and kids.
Not even that. Like, they could have ended on they could have ended on that note.
Right.
But the fact is, after really the 3rd season or 4th season, something like that, it loses its charm. It just becomes another sitcom.
You think so?
Yes.
I can see why you say that, but I think it did change. It changed once they got the girlfriends and wives, and when the girlfriends turn into wives, and then one guy has kids, it's not the same. I get what you're saying, but the writers will say, the producers will say, well, the characters have to grow. They can't be Geeky's mama's boys the whole show.
Which I didn't.
The whole show.
I didn't see the season, so I can't really.
I finished it. I finished the show,
but I can't really see them growing that much. I mean, Sheldon is still Sheldon. He just has a girlfriend now,
who became his wife.
Right.
And
but
then,
he doesn't change that much. They just bicker between themselves.
Right.
I've seen parts where they are a couple.
Right.
I've seen parts of later seasons.
Right.
And she really just kind of keeps them in check inside of the entire group.
Right.
So it just falls in one character, but it's still the same thing.
It didn't bother me as much. It did change. It's like that show, any sitcom or any drama, where the man and woman have this tension, sexual tension.
Oh, that's another thing.
And when they finally get together, people will love it, but then it changes things.
Exactly, just like in Scrubs.
Yeah.
Scrubs did that.
Scrubs did that.
Elliot and...
the blonde-haired girl, right?
Yeah, Elliot and...
whatever the blonde-haired, Sarah Chalk.
His
the one who played the other Becky on Roseanne.
His nickname...
Is that her name?
His pet name from... I can't remember her name.
The
Hispanic nurse was Bambi. I can't remember the character's name, though.
Well, they got married, though, on the show. The black dude and the Spanish woman got married on the show.
What I'm getting at is that they want a get together between the doctor and Elliot.
Right.
And then they had halfway through the series where they actually, well, not even halfway through the series, like at the beginning of the series, like, no, they're not going to get together.
Right.
But they kept on going like,
every show it does that.
Friends did it
with the Ross and Rachel thing.
That's
Superman and Lois. Not Superman and Lois. The Adventures of Lois and Clark.
Right.
The old one, Dean Cain.
So it's, I guess,
they did with that
just
one.
A product of sitcoms and dramas.
Yeah, because Friends did it. Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
Friends did it because everybody.
You know who didn't do it?
Who?
Seinfeld and Frasier.
No, they didn't.
Seinfeld and Frasier.
The people in Seinfeld made a point.
That's why those shows are great.
Seinfeld made a point not to put them back together because of that.
Except for the French sex.
Right. But other than that, as far as
you have to have sex to save the relationship. They made a good joke about it.
But they never put them back together because of the Ross and Rachel thing. Said we didn't want to do that. Frasier the same way. The show ended with him going to find this woman that just elated him. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But he never got back with his ex-wife.
Right.
There was too much damage had been done with that.
They also got creative with that, with having Niles sleeping with Lilith.
Yes, that fucked me up. I'm like, oh shit!
That show.
I didn't see that one coming.
Seinfeld and Frasier were so revolutionary.
Right.
That's why they stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Same with MASH.
Yeah. Oh my god.
MASH is a great show because not only is it great writing, great characters, great comedy.
Right.
But it did something that Star Trek did, which is also tackle issues of the day.
Right.
They tackled like political, moral, all that stuff.
In a time of war.
And they did it in a very tactful way.
Right. during a time of war, which is even more stressful.
Right. It's one reason. It's why MASH is my all-time favorite TV show.
Yeah, my father did the same. My father, I didn't as a kid. One of those things as a kid you don't understand.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like it as a kid.
What
either.
adults are looking at, like, why is this so funny? Why is this? I
Right.
didn't get it until I was 17, 18 years old. And I said, oh, now I get it. Now I get the jokes. Now I get the humor.
That's kind of how it happened for me because I saw the reruns when I was a little kid.
Yeah, you didn't know what you're
And
looking
then
at.
like
You don't know.
senior of high school, college, I started watching.
Then
and I
you
was
get
like,
it.
I've literally have seen every episode of MASH
Mhm.
at least 4 times.
Yeah. MASH and also, what's that other show? Hogan's Heroes.
I didn't really watch that.
My father used to watch Hogan's Heroes, and I didn't get it. I was a child. I just knew he laughed. And I'm like, what's so?
I've seen bits and pieces. I'd probably like it.
To
now.
watch it now, you'll get it. Like they're political prisoners of war in this can't and like okay, now I get it. But like I said, as a child, you're not supposed to get it.
Right.
You're not supposed to. But as you're older, you get it. But every show has followed that format. Will they? Won't they? Perfect example of it happening. Moonlighting.
You see,
Moonlighting. You knew it was coming eventually. You just did. It just didn't happen right away.
MASH did they will they won't they a little bit.
But it wasn't worth
Hawkeye-
it.
with Hawkeye and Lit.
Yeah, but that wasn't it. That
Just
wasn't.
a tiny bit.
But it wasn't.
They didn't do it where it was obnoxious.
No.
They had their moments
And that was it.
throughout the 11 seasons.
Right.
But it wasn't a constant thing.
Right.
And then they had their kiss at the end. That
And that
was
was it.
That was fine.
Right.
But
The will they won't they
when
drives
you-
everybody up the wall.
When you have your series, use it as a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is kind of like in House. House is another one.
House,
it
yeah.
ran like 3 or 4 seasons too long. It should have been like 5 seasons maybe. Because then they go back and forth with him and Cuddy.
Yeah.
And before that they went back and forth with his ex.
Right.
It was like
Every show has that.
it's so.
Every show
overdone.
has that now, with the couples getting together.
If you're gonna have them get together, have them get together. You can still write plenty of good stuff with them together.
Now some people like the build up
You can
to
have
that.
Yeah, you can have that.
But hear me out. Once it happens, then it's like now it's more romantic and it doesn't always fit.
Yeah, but you can still have them have their arguments and stuff, but they don't have to break up. They don't have to.
Break up for one season.
Yeah, and just to get back together
Together at
again.
the end, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I hate the ending to Scrubs so much. Oh, Scrubs ended horribly.
But that's the format. That's the format.
I mean, just in
format
general,
everybody
everything
follows.
they were throwing everything into the story, including the kitchen sink for Scrubs.
Well, Frasier didn't do that thing. Well, I can still watch Frasier now.
And then they tried to do the spin-off. I can't remember what it's called, but
What,
it was
Scrubs?
basic Scrubs. Yeah, there was a spin-off.
Really?
It was like one season.
Oh, Jesus.
Or a few episodes or something like that. It was basically Scrubs again, but it was a female lead.
No,
That's all it was.
Now, speaking of spin-offs, you know which one didn't work? After MASH.
Well, most spin-offs don't work.
No.
Like Frasier's is the
Frasier
outlier.
worked. Was another one that did
Bob
work.
Newhart. But those
No.
don't really-
There
those
was a
don't really-
spin-off.
Those don't. I mean, they're not technically, but the way that the end was it just Newhart where he
The one that had the
with
bread and
Darryl-
breakfast?
Daryl.
That was Newhart.
Yeah, but they end that as if it was a Bob Newhart. show.
right,
Yes.
'cause they woke up from a
So
dream.
that's how technically that's a
That's
spin-off.
not a spin-off.
Technically.
No. Spin-offs that worked. Angel came from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That worked.
That worked. Frasier came from Cheers. That fucking worked. I can't think of anything right now. Oh,
There's not.
no. There's a few. Wait a minute, one more. The Facts of Life.
I never
Spin-off
watched
from Different Strokes.
that. Yeah, I never watched this.
There's a few more that I can name more that didn't work. Like Flo didn't work from
Most-
Alice. After MASH did not work.
Like, isn't Rhoda?
Rhoda worked. Rhoda worked.
More?
Rhoda, yes,
Yeah,
that
it is?
worked.
Okay.
That worked. That one worked. That's one of the few that worked. There's crossovers. There's difference between a crossover and a spin-off. For instance, crossover would be The King of Queens and Everybody Loves Raymond. Not a spin-off. Crossover.
Right.
They both live in the same neighborhood or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was not a spin-off. Trying to think. Like if you try to do, there's so many ones that I can't think of them all right now. But there's a long list you can look up of ones that worked and ones that didn't.
Mm-hmm.
After MASH did not work. Frasier, of course,
Because it was supposed to be off based off Trapper John didn't even get the same actor.
No. I don't know. Aftermath was the war is over. Now this is in a hospital, not on the front line.
No. Wasn't there a show just called Trapper John or Trapper?
No, Trapper John MD.
Yeah.
That was the.
It's
that
not
was
even the same actor.
No. The Trapper John MD was the actor who played the eldest son from Bonanza. He was a doctor in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, I hear in the show they don't even really mention the show MASH. They just mentioned he was a field doctor.
I don't remember.
Something like that.
I don't remember how that worked.
I just hear it was like very loosely based off of
I don't know
MASH.
what that was. Like I said, we were kids, so we didn't get it. Anybody listening to this, hit us back when you leave a message or something and post something and let us know what's what as far as spin-offs and crossovers go. The ones that were successful.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below the ones
that were successful, other than like, okay, Joey didn't work from Friends. Didn't work. They tried it, didn't work. Speaking of that, Matt LeBlanc had another spin-off that didn't work. Vinny and Bobby was supposed to be a spin-off from Married with Children. Didn't work.
Oh, God.
Booker with, what's the brother's name? Richard Grieco. Was supposed to be a spin-off from 21 Jump Street. Didn't work. Maybe a season or two, but they pulled a plug on it. Didn't work. So, you have to get 5 years or more out of it for it to really be successful. Cheers blew the fucking roof off. Cheers blew the roof off with Frasier and vice versa. Well, I should say, Frasier blew the roof off of... Because Kelsey Grammer was Dr. Frasier Crane almost 20 years. And remember, his character on Cheers was a reoccurring character at first.
Right.
He wasn't made to the permanent cast until like season 5. You see what I'm saying?
Cheers is a series. I've watched the first episode a couple of times, and for some reason I just can't get into it.
But Cheers?
Yeah.
It was good.
Maybe I should like
try it now as you're an adult. You might get it better.
No,
now.
I did. I tried it on Netflix. Maybe I should just skip the first episode and go to the second episode. Well, okay. Well, for one, I've already seen it. It's just
right. Or start from where Woody Harrelson comes in.
I mean, it is episodic. I guess I could do that too.
Yeah.
They probably have some loose stories that carry over, just like in Frasier, they had loose stories that carry.
A little bit, but not much.
Well, I mean, kind of like character development.
Well, here's the one thing that Frasier and Cheers have in common: you never saw Maris, Niall's wife Maris. Never seen her. And there was a character Norm on Cheers had a wife named Vera. You never seen her. You talked about her every fucking episode.
Yeah.
But you never seen her.
Yeah.
With Frasier, it was worse. It was insane. You knew everything about Mary. She was hypoglycemic. She was this. She was this. She was this.
They came close to the one episode where she was stuck in like the sauna thing, the big.
Yeah, they never showed her.
Yeah.
It says I don't know how they worked it, but just you never saw this woman. You can imagine what she looks like.
Yeah.
She's thin as hell.
Yeah, she's teeny tiny.
She's thin as hell because she's worried about how
she's as delicate as a bird and she eats like a thimbleful.
Yes. She has a massive amount of money because she goes shopping all the fucking time. But she's a bitch in every sense of the word.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
The slightest breeze puts her
right.
in the bed.
Right. And she doesn't do anything.
Right.
She barely eats. She barely goes anywhere. But she has a massive fortune that her family accumulated from urinal cakes. You didn't know that, did you?
No, I do.
Yeah. So everybody thought it was from Letha. I thought it was from Timber. No. This fancy club woman got their money from urinal cakes. You know. So you know everything about her, but you never seen her.
Yeah.
There was a TV Guide article about that. Where they had a whole list of everything you knew about her, but you never seen her.
I mean, that was a running joke in
on
Home
Cheers.
Improvement.
Oh, the neighbor.
With the neighbor.
The neighbor. You never saw him pass
and the only
here.
sign they ever showed him was at the end of the episode. Was in the last episode, but it wasn't even the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Just the cast walked out and everyone saw him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the gag. Here. That's it.
Yeah. It was amazing how they pulled that off.
Because he didn't go nowhere. He was always in his backyard.
Still, when they would show his full body,
right.
they would have the wife who was like at the right height to hide him, walk with him when they would talk with him. They would do all these kind of clever things. God, I miss shows like that.
I didn't. You know what? It's funny. I didn't care about Home Improvement that much.
Mainstream TV. Cancel all your shows and just reruns from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
They got that. You got Nick at Night. You got TV.
No, that's all they show. That's all they show anymore. Ever again. Remake, just reruns from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You got your live action, you got your cartoons. You're set for life.
There's an audience for it. There is an audience for it. You got to find it. It's out there. Now they stream everything. Everything can be streamed now.
Yeah.
But like I said, spin-offs. I said, I can't think of any more right now. But like I said, the one that stuck out in my mind the most have always been Frasier
Well,
and
technically,
Angel.
all the superhero spin-offs for DC back in the 90s, those are all spin-offs.
More or less.
Like Superman, well,
What?
it wasn't, okay, that's not really a spin-off of Batman.
No.
They just have some crossover.
The cartoons, you mean?
But they have spin-offs of like Justice League and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Batman Beyond's a spin-off that really works.
Yes, that works. That works from Batman the Animated Series. And from Justice League, for that
from
matter.
Tiny Toons to Animaniacs, isn't that a spin-off?
No. Well, that was a side cartoon. Well, yeah, Animaniacs was kind of a side cartoon.
So that,
Here
and
it
then
is.
spin-offs for like Pinky and the Brain
Right.
is from Animaniacs.
Right,
That works.
They went from having their own little... All right, here we go. We're picking up from...
This is a reoccurring thing with you, Waltz. We get so enticed in the conversation, the battery on the camera dies or the SD card in this instance fills up.
Yes.
So we were talking about like spin-offs, and the last thing we got on was talking about the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain and stuff like that. One thing we kind of continued, I thought of another villain that I loved rooting for. Two villains. It was Tom Cruise. Oh yeah, no, both of them are Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise in Collateral.
Yeah.
Even though he loses in that one.
Right.
And then Tom Cruise in Interview with the Vampire. Interview with the Vampire is my all-time favorite vampire movie because to me it is the perfect depiction of vampires. And Lestat wins in that one.
Yeah, he does. Well, he lives through it all, that's for sure.
Yeah, he lives. We don't know if he takes Christian Slater's life or makes him a vampire.
I never read the book, so I don't know.
Right, I haven't read the book either.
I'm ashamed to say I'm not a reader the way I would like to be, the way I should be. I'm not. I would love to be. As a kid, I like to read, but not as much as an adult, which is sad, I guess.
Yeah,
just crazy.
I'm a very casual reader. The line of movies that I haven't seen is probably shorter than the line of books that I want to read.
Right. And the part about movies coming from books in the first place is, well, of course, you can't put everything in the movie that's in the book.
You gotta adapt it. You gotta make it make sense for the big screen. Right. And you're also reaching a wider audience than the fans of the book.
Right. So all you people who out there who read the chick with the one with the girl getting spanked all the time.
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I remember being on the bus one time and seeing two different women and reading that fucking book. I'm like, God damn, what is going on with this book? So I never saw either one of the movies. I haven't read the book. I get it. It's hot. It's very sexual. But I'm like, some people said, I did this in high school. Like, this is nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. I was going to say that the book's actually tamed. It's not nearly as kinky as everyone says.
It's just kinky because here's this rich guy who has a woman, I guess he signs the contract, whatever agreement he has with her, that he's into kinky stuff.
It's just my understanding that she signs a contract with a narcissist.
Basically.
And for some reason, you're supposed to root for that. I don't know. We got into that.
You root for
sidetracked real fast.
Right. Yeah, no, that's not even a bad guy. That's just dude who doesn't get his shit off. That's all it is. I mean, I understand that, but I mean, now is that character evil, or he just likes getting off?
I would say narcissist or evil.
Okay. Well, yeah, but she signed up for it.
Right.
And she's getting taken care of.
That just makes her an idiot.
Well, reverse that. If it was a guy being kept by some older woman or some rich woman,
that would make her a narcissist and him an idiot.
Okay, I guess.
Even though guys fantasize about that more often.
Yeah, because I mean, what dude don't want to be kept by a wealthy woman? If I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, then yeah, why not?
Right.
But I don't know. Everybody's different. But as far as villains go, like Tom Cruise in Collateral he did it for the money. He took it very seriously what he did. He took what he does very seriously.
Vincent because he's so damn good at his job.
Right. And you don't take. But what made me hate him is when you figure out he did it before and someone went to prison for it. You gotta listen very carefully because Mark Ruffalo says this happened before in Oakland or something, and a cab driver wound up going to prison for something he didn't fucking do.
Yeah. Yep.
So it makes you think, was it him or someone like him that did it before. That's what made me, excuse me, that's what made me hate him. See, I understand you do what you do.
Yeah, but you don't frame people.
But you frame someone else
right.
and take the fall for it who had nothing to do with it at all. That's fucked up.
But I mean,
that's fucked up.
That's what makes him so professional.
Yeah, I get it, but that's evil. That's just fucked up.
That's what makes him so intriguing as a villain.
Right.
That he's that good.
To make you like
until he meets Jamie Foxx.
Right. Who basically has to just try to outsmart him.
Right.
Because he can't physically outdo him. He just doesn't have it in him to do that. Yeah. But he just, he outsmarts him. But that was a very good. I wouldn't mind saying it again, but I said when it gets to that point, Mark Ruffalo says that, it kind of pissed me off. It kind of turned me a bit like I'm like, oh, that's fucked up.
It's supposed to. You're not supposed to vote for Vincent. It's just I found it enjoyable watching him do what he do.
Right. And I like I said, I like the fact that he took it so seriously.
Yeah.
The way he held the gun, the way he did this, the way he did, and it wasn't Tom Cruise being pretty boy Tom Cruise.
Right.
That's why his whole look was different. His whole demeanor was different.
And it's such an awesome look that he has. I mean, he's in a silver suit with gray hair. Yeah. It looks awesome.
And he wasn't looking like I said, it wasn't looking like pretty boy Tom Cruise. He wasn't looking like, the leading man that everybody wants to see. Because this movie was like, what the fuck? Where? Like he want to see because where is he going with this one?
He mostly doesn't play villains. The only other villain role I'm aware of is Lestat.
Yeah, maybe. He doesn't make a habit out of playing bad guys too much. Not that I've ever seen and I've seen just about every Tom Cruise movie there is, just about, and they're not all the same, that's for sure.
There's a lot of Tom Cruise movies I need to watch. Like I haven't seen any of the Mission Impossible movies, and they're coming out with a 7th one, aren't they?
Yeah, this one will be like a 2-part something or other.
So a 7 and an 8.
Oh, yeah, but it's supposed to be the same movie or something. But yeah, I mean, he's made a franchise out of that. He's a great actor. Period.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who turned down Iron Man, as we said before. He turned down Iron Man.
I still can't imagine him as Iron Man.
I can.
Not with the funky beard. I can see him being Iron Man.
There's a picture of him like that someone made up.
Someone made a fan.
Yeah.
fan.
So it was a damn good look that you'll see
for Avengers in the 90s.
Right. So it's possible, but now we'll never know. Like he turned it down. Oh well, it is.
I mean, the multiverse is open, and we still might see it.
He ain't gonna. Tom Cruise. I don't see it. I'd like to see it, but I don't see it.
I think it's possible.
But as far as, like you said, villains and...
Disney has a lot of money.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Do that. They got mine. Fucking Disney Plus. They got my... Every month they get money out of my goddamn pocket. Not to mention the $100,000 that people pay just to get into Disney World. I remember at one point Disney World was $32.50
really
to get in.
Oh, wow.
And this had to be 80-something. It might have been 32. So I can't even imagine for one adult and one child would be to get in, just to get into Disney World, what that would be now. I can't even fathom what that costs right now. I can't.
think each park, unless you buy a package, has its own admission.
That's what I'm saying. So you got Disney World, you got Universal, you got this, you got that.
Universal isn't part of it.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever is down there.
Disney's got like 5 or 6 parks now, something
however it works itself out, you have to damn near pay a king's ransom just to get in the fucking park. We're not talking about eating and drinking or paying. Everything else is paid for.
Or souvenirs.
Right. Oh, they fuck you on the way out with that. Because, last I remember, leaving out, you have to go through this big-ass gift shop.
Yeah.
So they got you on the way in to get you, you know what I'm saying? And they're getting you on the way out. Really? Really? I saw, I was a child, and I saw this as a child. A couple was arguing leaving because the wife, as most women want to do, they want to shop for shit and stop along the way and shop for something that's along the way. The husband wasn't having it. No, we're leaving. Baby, I want to stop. No, now. Let's go. Whatever it was, he had enough. He had a good time. I'm sure he had a good time. But at that point, he was just like, look, that's enough. But she wants to stop along because the park is closing anyway. So you figure it's going to close, and it's what, an hour or 2 before closing, and here they are trying to get the last little bit of money out of you on your way out of the damn park. That's frustrating. I understand it. I get it. It's money. Capitalism at its finest. Whatever. But this guy just had enough. We're leaving. That's it. Come on. Oh, what about this? No. Now. And they left. They probably argued in the car way to fuck home, but he just had enough. So
let's go back to Disney Plus. What are your thoughts on the Marvel shows and Star Wars shows so far?
I like them. Some
You like all of them equally?
no. Of course, some Star Wars. We grew up on Star Wars.
Right.
I did especially.
Yeah.
So I liked Obi-Wan, Mandalorian, and all that. I got that. I'm feeling that. I just wish the original Star Wars characters were still alive to make a cameo here and there.
Yeah.
They're all gone. So this is a new generation, a new bunch of characters. I got that. But to see Mark Hamill now gone, the Luke, you know what I mean, Han Solo character gone, just like damn, I want to see them show up in this universe. Now Mandalorian did it with Luke Skywalker showing up, but he was younger.
Right.
They CGI'd him or whatever. Like, okay, I get that. Was dope. I got that. But I just wish they were around now for these new shows. Not every episode, but just show up.
Yeah.
If there's 8 episodes in the season, then y'all want to see Han Solo show up at episode 4, episode 6, episode 8. I would like to see that for nostalgia, if nothing else. But it ain't going to happen. But I've gotten used to it,
Well,
and I like
the
it.
Book of Boba Fett. I
That was
find
okay.
I find that to be the weakest.
I was surprised. I liked it. I was surprised that I liked it because I just saw Boba Fett as a bad guy. As a kid, I saw him just a bad guy.
Right.
The bounty hunter. That's it. I want the money. That's it.
This one, my argument is,
Mm-hmm.
why couldn't have Boba Fett just been the Mandalorian?
2 different races of people.
No. I mean, the show The Mandalorian. Why couldn't that have just been about Boba Fett?
2 different people. 2 different races of people.
No, it's not that. It's 2 different people to make more money.
It works.
To sell more merchandise.
Yeah.
Yes, it most certainly does work. They still could have had Din Djarin as like a side character. He could have been the cool side character.
Could have been.
I mean,
But
Boba Fett ended up being the cool side character.
Right.
But
Which is a twist in itself because, like I said,
Right. But-
Boba Fett was always all thought of as a bad guy.
this is what they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because they kind of made him like an anti-hero in Book of Boba Fett. Because of the whole Tusken Raider backstory.
Right.
Right. They still could have done something like that, but not an entire episode. Just some flashbacks to show us that his little arc from crawling out of the Sarlacc pit
right.
and becoming a little more humbled, a little more empathetic towards people by being with the Tusken Raiders.
He's trying.
And then they could have more or less done the same thing that they did with the 2 seasons of Mandalorian. Instead of having it being Din Djarin, it would just be Boba Fett. Boba Fett, in my opinion, is the most shafted character since the Disney acquisition.
Right.
Because
So you think they watered him down a little bit? As you're saying, they
a
watered him
whole
down?
lot.
Yeah.
Especially if you ever watch Clone Wars?
Not really.
Okay, in Clone Wars, he's in like 5 or 6 episodes.
Right.
And there's like next to no character development for him. He just wants revenge against Mace Windu because Mace Windu killed his dad.
Right. I
And
got
he's
that.
like in 1 episode of Rebels. Again, same character basically.
Right. But he's not there yet to where he's this all-out, well-known
Yeah,
bounty
I
hunter.
wanted to see that in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Okay.
Like Rebels, you could have seen him like on his first bounty on his own.
Right.
But no, you get this whiny little brat who wants revenge in Clone Wars,
Right.
and then you basically get the same thing, just a little older in Rebels.
Right.
And
They went another
they
route.
never did anything with him. And then when they finally get to Book of Boba Fett, it's like half of it is flashback to the Tusken Raiders,
Right.
and then the other half is like
Escaping from the thing. I got all that.
he's
And you know what they'll
he's
say?
not the ruthless bounty hunter he is anymore.
And you know what
It's
they'll
just-
say? We're going another direction. That's
Right,
The, that
but
is
it's
that's the postage stamp
They
excuse for
had this
something like that.
opportunity to do something amazing with this character,
And they didn't do
and
it.
they gave it to a whole new character they created. You could have gotten the same story, and things could have played out the same way with Boba Fett as they did with Din Djarin. Now,
I'm
I
sure-
love The Mandalorian. It's my favorite Star Wars show so far.
Right.
But it's just like Disney changes way too much. Way too much.
Well, people are worried about Disney.
And it's all in the cause for money. That's it. And I don't...
And people are also worried about Disney watering stuff down.
Oh, definitely.
Because now they have the rights to Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. Now, will they get those shows on that? Will they get those shows? Maybe. And if they do,
I think they are on there now.
I'm saying they're on it, but no new ones. I'm saying there's no new ones.
I think they will.
Daredevil's coming back.
He's definitely showing up in the new She-Hulk.
Daredevil's coming back. It's called Daredevil Reborn. That's definitely coming back. As far as Luke Cage, Jessica Jones,
and
Iron Fist, which everybody hated Iron Fist. It didn't bother me as much. It was my least favorite, but I understand why people didn't like it.
I still need to watch.
But will Disney water it down?
Probably.
Well, so that's what people are afraid of. Okay, look. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones especially, there are a few F-bombs. A few. Some sex scenes. A little bit of nudity between both shows. A few N-words here and there. But will Disney water all that down? God damn it. It is a streaming service. You as the parent have to lock it down.
Well,
if the show is TVMA...
Isn't Disney Plus... Doesn't Disney own Hulu or something like that?
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
I have Disney Plus on my PlayStation.
They have another streaming service
Probably.
under their huge umbrella.
Right.
They could definitely just switch it over to there if they want to have a harder edge show.
Right. But it's on Disney Plus. It's not on Hulu or anything else.
Well, going back to Deadpool 3, the headlines always keep on saying they're not going to water it down.
Right.
Deadpool 3 is going to still be a hard R.
Right. It should be. It should be. I mean, some characters should be R-rated, period. Or TVMA, whatever.
Yeah, like
Punisher. You can't. If you water down Punisher, people lose their goddamn mind. People lose their mind.
It just loses its effect.
It's a double-edged sword. Don't water it down, but don't make it violent for the hell of it.
Which is what a lot of shows do.
Right. But Punisher doesn't do that. It's a violent thing, it's a violent character, we got that. But it's not overly done.
Right.
It's not overly done. God forbid if Punisher ever made it to Disney Plus, what would happen? Would you hear the stabbing but not see it? Would a person be laying there on the ground with a knife wound or a gunshot wound and there's no blood?
See, this is where it should go back to choice.
Right.
I'm sure, like any other streaming service, there are parental controls on it.
You'd have to put them on there.
Right.
As the consumer, as the parent.
It comes down to the parent's choice. And
right.
I would personally say it's good parenting to put controls on there. Like you sign in, and here's all the profiles.
Right.
Well, little Billy's profile doesn't have access to what mommy and daddy have access to.
Right.
It should be that simple. And there should be, you should have to sign in every single time to your, if you click on your avatar,
right,
you should still have to put in your password.
That's cool, right.
Little Billy shouldn't know the password.
No. And if he does, then you got to rechange it or have a talk with him.
So it still come down to choice. Don't water it down for everyone because you want to play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a choice.
Tell Disney that. Because they just might do it. People are afraid of that. If these shows, you gotta remember, Punisher, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the Defenders, they were all TVMA. Hardcore shit. There was blood. There was blood splatter. There was a little sex, a lot of whatever. Everything that makes it mature adult watching, that's what it was. If you put it on Disney Plus, here it comes. Well, don't have her say kill, have her say this. Don't have him say this, have him do that.
Right.
He can't wear this t-shirt because it has this on it. You know what I mean? Like, he can't wear a t-shirt with a gun on it. Have him wear a t-shirt with the gun with the circle and the line through it or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just water it down, baby it down, so the whole family cannot watch The Punisher.
Right.
They can't. Maybe your grandmother, maybe your grandfather, sure. But not your 8-year-old cousin. They shouldn't.
Right.
So there's family watching and there's non-family watching, of course. Which is why children go to bed at a certain fucking time. Okay? So mommy and daddy can watch certain things we want to watch. Whether it be The Punisher, Jessica Jones, or Debbie Does Dallas, or whatever we want to watch. You know what I'm saying? We're all adults. As we want to watch. So, yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice and it's also good parenting on your part to lock things down if you need to. I mean, we were all kids once.
Right.
We know we shouldn't go in there. We shouldn't open that. We shouldn't drink this. We shouldn't eat that. We shouldn't watch this. We want to see it anyway. It's that forbidden fruit.
Right.
It's right there, but I can't have it. It's in front of me every single day, every single night, but I can't have it.
And we all rebelled. We all got away with watching something we shouldn't have watched.
Right.
Stuff
But
like
nowadays,
that.
the Disney universe and every parenting group under the sun is worried about little Billy watching an episode of Jessica Jones
Now, this is what...
and then going to school one day and say, I saw this, that, and the third.
Right, no, I just thought of something.
Okay.
Something that I think will actually give you hope. Moon Knight.
I saw that.
Moon Knight really didn't pull its punches.
No. But it wasn't violent. It wasn't really rough and violent like I thought it would be.
Yeah, but it's more violent than anything else that they put on there. And I think a Punisher show could work because it's done maybe just a little edgier than Moon Knight. Now, personally, I was not a fan of Moon Knight. I think it took its fucking time getting the point across.
Right.
It's like it's 6 episodes long. You're acting like you have 12. Just give us 12 episodes then.
I think that's...
Moon Knight took way too long to get to the point.
Yeah, I can see that. It did a little bit. But
lots
also,
of people love Moon Knight. I didn't.
I think for this first season, it's baby steps. It's baby steps. Now, if they come back for second season, they're really going to drive some shit home.
Well,
and drive the point of the story home, and plus give you more action.
See, that's my gripe.
What?
I don't need baby steps, especially when you only have 6 episodes. Give me something worth watching every 6 episodes. Every episode.
Right.
It's only 6 of them. If you had 12, yeah, take your time a little bit. They could have had the 6 episodes that they had, and then other episodes in between, filling in a lot of it's just I still don't know what the hell is going on. It's like the gods are basically having an infighting.
Right.
I was like, okay, why do I care? And why do I care that this guy is working for this god? And the most interesting thing at the end was the third personality.
Right.
Which is okay, why couldn't I have gotten more of that in there? It's I don't know. It just didn't do it for me.
Well, some people worked for them, some people
that's
didn't.
the weakest one for me out of the Marvel shows that come out so
at least
far.
that one was made for Disney Plus with that audience in mind, more or less. The Marvel universe, the Marvel fans in mind, sure, but they knew it was going to be on Disney Plus, period. It's not like the other ones that are coming from Netflix, now they're on Disney Plus. So like I said, Daredevil Reborn will come out whenever that comes out. Daredevil was pretty rough. So now what's going to happen now that's on Disney Plus?
Well,
what are you going to do?
He's hinted at in the She-Hulk trailer.
I know, I saw that trailer.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it.
It looked way better than I thought it was going to
Right.
be.
Now, that's another show that looks like it's going to be more, everybody can watch it. More or less.
I don't know.
Not everybody, but
I think
12 on up.
It might be a bit rough around the edges.
14 on up, give or take. But the ones that are made for Disney Plus from the jump, you get that. You know how it's going to look. You know how it's going to feel. You know how it's going to sound. You know everything. You got a pretty good idea of what it's not going to be and what it is going to be because it's made for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones that are now coming, will there be a Luke Cage season 3? Maybe. But if it is, are you going to show him in bed with some woman? Are you going to show some woman saying a sexual innuendo joke to him? Are you going to Jessica Jones? Are you going to show him Jessica Jones fucking again? Because Jessica Jones and Luke Cage fuck. You know what I'm saying? They do. They don't make love. They fuck. Okay? If you've seen the show, Jessica Jones, you know what I mean. There's no, oh my God. No. There's no sensual love-making scene. This is not a soap opera. They're fucking each other's brains out. Because they can. And they wreck the goddamn bed in doing so. Okay? It's a big difference between that. And we all know that. So will Disney do that?
Probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
They might do show them making out, going into the bedroom,
and then we see waves crashing,
Well, I don't know about that.
And
But the next morning they'll show like a disheveled bed.
Right.
They'll,
Well, they do all. Well, you know what's good? A lot of movies do this. The couple fall back in bed.
yeah.
You ever see that? Oh my God. Multiplicity did that with Andy McDowell and Michael Keaton. They kept falling back, and oh my God, that was just, and they're fully everything's on.
Right.
They just keep falling back into bed, and you get it.
Yeah.
Or the woman always fixing her hair. Oh my God, she's always doing. No, Disney will barely do that. They'll barely do that. Netflix don't give a fuck. Knock yourself out. Yeah, but as much as we love Disney for what they bring to the table, the fantasy, the enjoyment, the love of it,
The problem is they're taking away choice.
Right. And they think, and I know why they're doing it, but it's making everybody angry because you're taking the choice from me.
Right.
Like I said before, here at this table, Splash. You ever see that movie? It's an old Tom Hanks movie with Ron Howard, and Daryl Hannah plays a mermaid. And in the original movie, which I saw in the theaters as a child, it wasn't dirty. She's running back into the ocean, and you see her ass as she's running into the ocean. Period. It wasn't, ooh, it wasn't, I didn't freak out about it. I didn't do anything. Just saw her ass as she ran into the ocean.
Well, okay, you haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, but you saw one of the latest trailer, right?
Yeah, when women all pass out when he's naked and some shit.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
they showed Thor's ass.
Right. But that's a movie theater, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Disney Plus.
Will they do that? Will they show his ass?
And they did in the trailer.
When it comes on Disney Plus, will they do that? Though?
Probably.
I don't know. Who knows? Daryl Hannah's, when they showed on Disney Plus that movie, her hair is CGI'd
To be longer.
to be longer. I'm like, are you kidding
Probably
me?
looks horrible, right?
It's noticeable. It's really noticeable. But I'm like, I understand this is now a streaming service and there's no lock on it in your home or whatever. But how come I saw this movie as a child, but now I'm 47 and I'm paying for it now and I can't see it? That is taking a choice from me.
Right.
If anything, put it on there with an exclaimer.
I mean, it's not like it was the front.
No, oh God, no.
Yeah,
Oh God,
completely
no.
different.
Just her two ass.
That would be understandable if it was the
Right,
front.
just her ass cheeks and that's it. You got it. But it wasn't even a dirty, sexy scene then. It was a PG movie on top of that. It was a PG movie.
Well, PG actually meant something back then.
Right. But it was just enough that you got it.
There's a joke, one of the movie reviewers I watch says PG stands for practically G.
No, it ain't that bad. They stretched the envelope. They pushed the envelope. I think, if I'm not mistaken, PG-13, you're allowed one F-bomb.
Yes.
Just one.
One.
Just one.
And like a handful of shits.
So I'm saying. The NC-17, which is...
Rare.
Yeah.
What does that even mean, really? It's just a hard R.
Right. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
From R. But... superhero movies, period.
Like Jackass is supposed to be NC-17, but...
That's R. Oh, God. But I'm just saying...
hard
it should be.
R.
Here's the... I saw the last one.
You saw,
Oh, we saw it. Yeah. So, oh God, it was crazy.
Get your thought out. Let's talk about that next.
Okay, but don't take the choice from me. I understand why you're doing it. You have a business to run. You have families that are looking over your shoulder to make sure this is how this is supposed to be done. I got that. But in my household, where I am in control of what I'm watching, if I want to see something, I should be able to see it.
Right.
In its original form. I understand when something comes on television and says it's been edited for television. I got that. You can't watch Basic Instinct on ABC. If it comes on ABC, you're like, really? What is this? Because as soon as Sharon Stone crosses her legs, you're not going to see nothing.
Right.
Every F-bomb is gone. Every partial nudity scene is gone. It's just going to be cut to death. No pun intended. It's just not going to work. So, even now, even a movie that's PG-13 or anything, I don't watch it on TNT or TBS. I won't look at Back to the Future on TNT or ABC.
Oh, that's one of the many reasons why I like to own the physical copy.
Exactly. I don't want commercials. I don't want to see if it's a made-for-TV movie. There's commercials. I accept that.
I mean,
but if it's a cinematic feature on TBS, I don't want to see commercials. I'm not going to look at it.
Maybe you'll agree with me. I don't know.
Okay.
When I was a kid, it was a little more acceptable because maybe I didn't own the VHS.
Right.
And it's like, hey, I like this movie. I'll watch it.
Right.
A 2-hour movie becomes a 4-hour movie.
Right. That's annoying.
Yeah, but I mean, when you were a kid, did
you, as a kid,
was it as bad?
I didn't notice it as much.
Yeah.
I probably didn't notice it as much.
Probably because it was a movie that you enjoyed. It's like, oh, I'm watching a good movie.
Right. Because there have been times where there was one weekend on TBS or something, and they were showing all the James Bond movies on like one weekend or something, and I watched them. I watched them because I don't know.
That would be an entire weekend with commercials.
Right, and it was, and I caught myself like, why am I watching these movies? It's commercials. I hate doing that.
Nowadays, you do.
Even I've always hated
streaming services.
Right, but this is before streaming services. But for some reason, I've always hated watching a movie that doesn't have commercials. Now I got commercials on TNT or CBS or whatever.
Yeah.
And now I won't look at it. To me, that's a waste of time.
Plus, they put commercials in like the weirdest spots.
Not even that. I don't want commercials. Period. I want to watch this movie.
No, I get you. But sometimes
the way it's supposed to be made.
The weirdest spots.
Right.
Like I would hate to be the person to have to figure out where commercials go in a movie that don't have commercials.
No. A made-for-TV movie, that's something different. You expect that.
Yeah, because they film it with those in mind.
Right. You have to. But if I'm watching Back to the Future or a Star Wars movie or any movie that I love, I will not look at it on the regular broadcasting channels. I won't.
Right.
It's a waste of time.
I'm not even sure if that's a thing they do anymore, other than holiday movies.
They do. Well, if it's a Hallmark Channel movie, then it's made for that.
No, I mean like fucking Christmas Story.
Well, yeah, but I want
like exceptions like that. Those like around Christmas, they have Christmas movies playing on the regular stations.
Right. I still want to watch it.
I'm not aware of them doing that for other movies.
They do. I'm sure they do.
Except for like those weird channels that only show older movies and stuff like that.
But I just don't. To me, it's a waste of time, and
it's definitely
a waste of time, and it's all cut up and edited anyway for content, as they say. So I'm not seeing what's originally written, what's originally set in stone in the first place.
Right.
So I don't look at it. Even if I have it on Blu-ray and DVD, I won't look at it on cable. Like, what I'm thinking is
because
it's a waste. I already have it anyway.
I'll just pop it in.
Right, I already have it anyway.
Right.
So instead of watching something on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, if I already have it in my collection, watching it on here is a waste of time. I can take that same 2 hours and watch something I've never seen before.
Yeah.
Take a chance on this movie I've never seen before. A documentary, watch the news, whatever. I want to see something. That's the whole point. I want to see something I haven't seen before. So I have, for instance,
that's where you and I are going to be very different because I don't mind watching the same thing over and over again.
No, I don't mind that, but I want to watch it on. If I already have it, I'm not going to look at it again. If I, for instance, Man on Fire is now on Netflix. I have Man on Fire on DVD. So why would I turn it on Netflix? I already have it. I've been had it for years. So to watch it on Netflix would be a waste of time.
Well, yeah, that's
what I'm saying. Whereas 20,000 other movies on Netflix I've never seen before, I could watch.
Well, yeah, okay,
that's what I don't
know what
do.
You're saying now,
I don't do that. I already have it. As much as I have HBO Max, and every damn animated movie and animated show was on there, I've had Justice League and Unlimited on DVD for years. So maybe I will go back and watch those again, maybe, but I don't have to.
Right.
I already have it. So I take a chance on wanting to watch something I've never seen before first. Then I'll say, okay, there's nothing getting my interest. I'll go back to an old favorite. Yeah. So that's just me.
Oh, excuse me.
But it's your control, your television.
You watch what you want.
Yes, exactly. And don't let Disney water the fuck down if you don't have to deal with that. Hallmark Channel, it is what it is. Oxygen, Lifetime Movie Network, we got that. That's made for TV. It's made to look the way it's supposed to look. You got that. But any hardcore movie, any feature film that you saw on the big screen, come on, don't do that to yourself.
I mean, can you imagine Deadpool on TV?
They've done that already. I'm sure it's been on like FX or even on FX. They still catch it on FX. Now here's the funny part. FX original shows got everything in it. Sons of Anarchy, Mayans, they used to have American Horror Stories, hardcore shit. Their original stuff was hardcore. But a movie they had the rights to is cut. It's cut.
That's weird.
And if it's just something they just won't do.
That's a stupid double
It's just I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna look at it on FX? Their original stuff is hardcore. No problem. But a movie they get the rights to is watered down. I don't want watered down. I've already had the original.
Right.
Why would I want a cheap copy that's gonna waste my time for 2 hours? No. I like what I like. I can't apologize for it. We're too old to be apologizing for what we like. We're too old for that. Go ahead.
No, I don't know.
Oh. But as far as
We talked about so much.
all right, so what's next for DC?
Black Adam,
I'm dying for that one.
which it does look good.
I'm fucking dying for
I
that
don't know
one.
if they're still trying to go for their own cinematic universe.
I don't know.
want them to anymore.
No. DC's not very good at it. Marvel has been the best at it.
Well, their whole strategy was be Marvel, which was
Not working.
stupid. That's why it's not working.
I said before this table, DC was kicking ass
In
in the
animation.
animated, but not live action. And that's fine if we work in the animation department. If we work in the animation department, we're kings of the castle.
Yeah.
Let you motherfuckers in live action deal with the bullshit. We good over here. So, I would like to see it match up a little bit, but I don't see it.
I don't know what
see
they're
it.
doing because they just got rid of Ezra Miller.
No. For the next Flash movie, they got rid of him. Not this one.
Because it was already filmed.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to roll with this one. But he's going to be replaced.
They replaced
gonna be
Amber Heard with supposedly Emilia Clarke. Which I'm sure Jason Momoa is floored and ecstatic for.
What, he didn't like her?
No, he loves her.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
well, he knows her from
Game of Thrones. That's why he's
yeah.
like he's ecstatic for
Oh,
it.
okay,
He's
okay.
probably overjoyed for it because they probably platonically love each other.
Right. Okay, I got that. Okay. As far as DC's universal plan, they can't do what Marvel did. They've proven they can't do it. They've proven that.
Oh,
No.
it didn't help that they had Zack Snyder at the helm.
Okay.
I'm never gonna let
You
that
gonna
go.
I know you're gonna say you're gonna beat that motherfucker horse to the ground.
Yes.
Okay. I got that. I see what you're saying though. But DC should have had a better build up to lead up to Justice League.
I still make the argument they can reboot it and just have a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Just give us a Justice League movie. You don't have to have movies come out before.
Right.
Do the exact inverse of what Marvel did. Instead of building up to Avengers, just have a Justice League movie.
They did that.
And then they can have single
they
movies
built
after
up.
that.
They built
then
up.
they
yeah.
can have movies that can build up to the next Justice League movie.
The only ones that worked were Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and that that slightly saved them.
Just a
It slightly
little.
saved them a little bit. As far as Black Adam goes with this group of heroes, first of all he's what they call an anti-hero or whatever.
No, I still haven't seen Shazam. Do you really recommend Shazam?
Watch it. It doesn't matter with Shazam. I mean, with Black Adam.
Because I heard that there's a
The original
rivalry
plan-
between Shazam and Black Adam.
The original
Because
plan
Black Adam sees that Shazam has
Is
the
it-
other half of his power.
or just a threat. The original plan was going to be Dwayne Johnson play Black Adam in Shazam, but they said they scrapped that idea and give him his own thing because he's supposed to be the bad guy in Shazam.
Yeah.
But they went the other way with the bald-headed dude, Mark Strong. They went that route, which is fine. And you give Black Adam because Dwayne Johnson can carry a movie. It's his own vehicle now.
Right.
But he is not your typical superhero. He will save people, but he will kill the bad guys.
Right.
That preview where Pierce Brosnan or whoever says to him, superheroes don't kill people. And what he said,
That's Sam Neill.
Sam Neill, we don't kill people. No, Pierce Brosnan, Dr. Fate. It's Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate.
Sure, it's not Sam Neill.
How much you want to bet? It's Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate with the bell on his head. It's Pierce Brosnan.
I know it's Dr. Fate, but
It's Pierce Brosnan.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I'm telling you, it's
Keep
Pierce
up.
Brosnan.
All right.
But he says to him, superheroes don't kill people. And Dwayne Johnson says, well, I do. Because his background is different. He was a slave in bondage for years and years. So, of course, you're going to kill anyone who's oppressing someone else. That's just what he does. It's just the way he goes about it in this movie they don't like. But he has always been Captain Marvel. That Captain Marvel's worst enemy. Because he's just pure evil and just doesn't care. He wants the power. Imagine you've been given this godlike power. You've been oppressed damn near your whole life. And you've been given this godlike power. What do you think you're going to do with it? What do you think it's going to... What kind of person do you think you're going to be when you realize how powerful you are and what you can do? Especially to someone who's been oppressing you or oppressing other people for years and years and years. Oh yeah, damage is coming. The damage is going to happen. And that's just that character. Now, how many times is Dwayne Johnson going to play this character? We don't know. Everybody, you figure 3 maybe. And Shazam! Fury of the Gods is coming out.
Well, it all depends on how well this one does.
Oh, I'm quite sure this is...
Damn it!
What?
It's Pierce Brosnan.
I told you, Pierce Brosnan.
It looks like Sam Neill.
Pierce Brosnan, Playboy. He's perfect as Dr. Fate. Perfect. He looks perfect for Dr. Fate. So yeah, what they're gonna after Black Adam, we'll see. Aquaman 2, Etched in Stone, that's happening. Ezra Miller, like you said, Ezra Miller's been replaced. With who? They say who they got in mind for the next Flash movie?
They should just get the TV actor.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Why not? He's already doing it.
True.
People already like him.
It's possible. I mean, worst he could say is no, right?
Especially if they're doing Flashpoint Paradox, it makes even more sense because he's going from that universe to the movieverse.
Right. But I said Ezra Miller, he fucked up.
And they could even say, it's still Ezra Miller's Flash without him in it.
I don't say anything.
Like we had our own guy.
They could write him off. Period.
But he's not.
I'd write him off. Period.
We had this guy, but he's gone now. We don't know what happened to him, and because it's Flashpoint Paradox.
And really, they don't even have to explain it. Just change him. Don't even
I'm just
explain
saying,
it.
if they wanted to, they could easily just make it a one sentence.
But you know, some writer or some producer say, you know what? Don't even mention him. The hell with him.
Yeah.
He's caused us too much heartache and too much trouble and too much embarrassment. The hell with him.
Yeah.
There's a guy with a podcast show named Campia, and he said Mickey Rourke has recently said Tom Cruise is irrelevant.
Oof.
The Tom Cruise he's irrelevant. He doesn't. People are like, are you serious, dude? Mickey Rourke is saying that?
That's crazy.
And they said when he did that movie with, I think it was called The Immortals, with Henry Cavill, and the guy said, how was Mickey Rourke? He said Mickey Rourke was a nightmare. Not showing up late, just being a complete jerk. So for him to say someone like Tom Cruise he thinks is irrelevant, like really? He said something like Tom Cruise played the same character or something. Whatever he just said, he was just dogging Tom Cruise. And it sounded like really, dude, like, what's wrong with you? It sounded like jealousy. People could construe it as jealousy.
That's probably what it is.
It could be construed as jealousy because your career should have been almost his.
Because the last thing I can remember him being in was The Expendables.
He's been in a few things after that. Nothing real big.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to take a chance on him. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did the Expendables.
Yeah.
In Iron Man 2,
he was
villain.
in. Right.
Like, well, there were a few Expendables.
But he's only 3. There's been 3, but he's only in the second one. The first one, I think.
There is a new Stallone movie coming out called The Samaritan.
No, not The Samaritan. Samaritan. Just the word Samaritan.
I think it's an Amazon Prime, yeah.
Amazon Prime original.
That looks good.
That does look good. I was like, okay, Amazon, like, the check is a check.
Like late 60s, early 70s.
Well, the character is old anyway.
Ripped.
Right. The character is old anyway. So I'm going to see where this one goes. I'm dying to see this one. It's not till like the late August.
Did you see Adam Project on Netflix?
No.
It's a good one. Ryan Reynolds. He comes back through time and he
oh yeah, so as a
with
kid.
His young self.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. You got to watch the time travel movies. Time travel movies and multi-universe movies have to be careful not to overlap anything, not to miss the continuity. Just little mistakes.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful with that. Because if you've ever seen a movie with Van Damme, Time Cop.
Never really a Van Damme guy.
Well,
I don't think I've ever seen one of his movies in completion. I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen them talked about, but I've never actually seen one of his movies.
Time Cop.
I want to see
What?
Kickboxer. That's the one with Kumite, isn't it? Or is that Bloodsport?
Bloodsport.
I want to see. Well,
He did Kickboxer.
I'll watch both of
He did
those.
two kickboxing movies. One he was
Because
older.
from my understanding, Van Damme is legit.
Yeah.
So it's him doing this stuff. He knows his shit.
Yeah, he does.
So that's another reason why that kind of intrigues me. And just the pure, like, 80s camp,
Yeah.
like, adult camp. There's different levels of camp. And there's adult camp that's just still funny as hell.
Well, the reason I mentioned the time travel and multiverse thing, how they got to make sure that the content is the same, and be careful with that. In the movie Time Cop, Ron Silver plays this greedy politician. And he goes back to his younger self to hand him something. He says, stay over there. Same matter can occupy the same space. There was some rule about that. So when he gives his younger self something like far away, like here. Or like hands it to him like, stay away from me. And how Van Damme gets him is that he takes Ron Silver's younger and older and pushes them into each other. And they can't coexist. They like dissolve or some shit. It was really weird.
To where they never existed?
Right.
Huh.
So imagine I grab you now and I push you into you at 17.
Yeah.
And y'all like that, and just look all conjoined like a mutant type of thing. You just dissolve into nothing. So it's like you just disappeared one fucking day. Out of history, you just disappeared.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Give it a,
of course,
out of all the Van Damme movies, that one had good special effects, and it wasn't him kicking ass and being perfect.
I'm told that his movies are pretty cheesy.
They all are. For what they were.
Yeah, but not all of them in like a good way.
Good bad movies.
Yeah, but I hear that, but
Right.
I hear that's not all of them.
No. Time Cop.
Like Street Fighter is probably.
Oh God.
I never seen Street Fighter,
Don't.
but I heard it was.
If you
trash.
put that on, fast forward to the end, to the fight between him and Raul Julia playing Bison.
You know, it was Raul Julia's last movie.
No, he had one more after that.
Oh, he did?
I don't know. I mean, they said that was his last movie, but there was one more after that did come out after Street Fighter.
Huh.
But he died while he was filming Street Fighter, or right after he died. Out of nowhere. When he died, it was out of nowhere. That was fucked up.
Tragedy.
Yeah.
He's the perfect.
He was a damn good
Gomez.
actor. Yeah, he was perfect. Tim Curry was nice, but Raul Julia was perfect. He just had it because he looked it and he acted like he could pull it off with no problem. But yeah, as far as Van Damme goes, try Time Cop, Bloodsport, maybe Kickboxer, Death Warrant. No, so you might like Lionheart. Lionheart was good because it's him fighting, but in different settings.
Which movie is it where they show? I don't know if it's a flashback or at the beginning of the movie, but it's Van Damme's younger self.
Right.
So they get like a kid to play him. It's him and a bunch of other kids go in and steal something from an old Japanese guy, and the Japanese guy stops him.
I don't know which one that was.
I don't know if that was Kickboxer or Bloodsport. But
could have been either. I don't know. I didn't see that one.
I've only saw probably that first part of the movie. The point I'm trying to get at, I don't know if it's because I was really young when I watched it,
right,
or if it really was just horrible dubbing. Because the older guy is trying to scare him and talk to him, and the kid he says something back to him,
right,
and I think it's horribly dubbed.
Maybe
I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. I don't know if it's Kickboxer because it's the one where later it's this old trope is like, I was going to teach my son, but he's dead. Oh, but I will teach you.
Yeah, that could have been
and Van Damme, when he's older, he he's tied up, where
That might have been.
He's doing a complete split,
right?
And his arms and legs are
Is he
parallel.
blindfolded?
I don't know,
okay.
But he has to pull himself out of the restraints,
right,
over top of flames or something like that.
Jesus,
I can't remember.
That's been done to death.
I don't know if that. I don't know, but I just.
If you want to give Van Damme a try, anybody want to give Van Damme a try, and nothing else better to do.
As long as you're saying Van Damme and not.
Oh God, no.
What's his name?
Yes,
Seagal.
Old fat boy now. Yeah, who's legit?
He's
legit martial artist, but still.
The only movie I seen him in was Machete. That movie. I never saw the sequel. It's probably just as hilarious, but.
And it's so funny to see Rob De Niro and Steven Seagal in the same fucking movie. That you would thought that would never ever happen, but Rob De Niro and Steven Seagal in the same movie is like unheard of. But if you want to give Van Damme a try Time Cop, Lionheart, Bloodsport, maybe In Hell, but Lionheart especially because it's...
And Street Fighter.
If you are high as a kite, 3 o'clock in the morning, yes, then you can watch Street Fighter. That's the only time this movie will work for you is if you're intoxicated. And I mean, you got to be like, oh God, what the hell am I watching? Alcohol, weed, and shrooms. Then you can watch Street Fighter.
Kill you.
Then you can watch Street Fighter because it's just, oh God, it's okay. Put it like this: I can watch Batman and Robin 5 times in a row before I can look at Street Fighter. Yes, I'm telling you.
That's that bad.
It's that bad. It's that bad. Because it's like, what the fuck? It's just cheesy. It's too colorful. It's too cheesy.
And it doesn't follow the storyline of Street Fighter.
Not really.
It doesn't really get the characters right.
His character comes out okay, for the most part. But the rest of them don't. They look the part, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like, let me for example, if everybody remembers the movie and the game Street Fighter, the boxing character, Balrog, they show the guy in the movie, he's doing whatever he's doing. Why in the end of the movie, he's fighting, now he got gloves on? You see what I'm saying? Like, he puts on gloves to go fight? Not even a boxing match, I mean like a war. They're fighting a war.
Oh.
So he's like this, and they showed him like the fucking Three Stooges or something. You're, why? You see this guy 5 times in the movie, and he's barehanded.
I'm gonna have to watch.
Now he's got on gloves at the end,
just for the so bad it's good factor.
Yes. Oh God. If you're high, 3 o'clock in the morning, knock yourself out. No problem. But the rest but no. Lionheart was good because Lionheart was better because at least he's fighting different people in different settings. So it's like Street Fighter in a sense. He fights this one Scottish dude in a parking lot. Cars all around them. All the headlights are facing them. They're in the middle of that fighting. That's dope scene. One scene he fights this other guy inside a racquetball court. Jeans, t-shirts, racquetball court. Another guy, they're in a pool, but like most of the water is out of the pool. So they're like the deep into the pool like this much. Like if the pool is 8 feet deep, there's like 3 feet of water. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they're at the end of the pool fighting down there. And it's just different fights, different settings. Illegal fighting, of course.
Right.
But of course, the main dude, he fights like a fucking tennis court or some shit. And there's this real big dude, these thick ass sideburns called Attila. This dude's a monster. And they showed a clip of him. He take a punch. Like I said, he toys with his opponents. They can think they're winning. And he just grabs the guy and like pulls the guy's legs apart. Not in a cheesy, blood splattering way, but you can tell he just fucked the guy up somehow and just drops him. And that's the big fight that he has to get up to, fighting this guy Attila. All because his brother got killed and he wants to look out for his brother's family. They're in America and they're catching the bed. She can't pay her rent. And he has a niece, and he's fighting to take care of them. But he's on the run. because he was in the French Foreign Legion and he went AWOL.
Oh God.
I'm like, are you kidding? Because for a while, Seagal and Van Damme, we all know this. In the 90s, they had a string of good, bad movies. The movies were okay for Friday night. You and your boy, oh, fuck, I'll go see a Seagal movie. For what they were, until he had the ones that sucked. Because they've had some bombs. Their time was up. The magic was gone. The thrill is gone. It was just whatever. It was over for them. And before that, you had Stallone and Schwarzenegger in the 80s. Most of the 80s, when it was over, it was over. Why do you think there's a story that Schwarzenegger told on a talk show? The reason Stallone did this movie called Stop or My Mom Will Shoot is because Schwarzenegger said I turned it down. He said, you can just, he said, and Schwarzenegger said, he saw him like, this was shit. But Stallone talked to him about it and said, oh no, yeah, you can do it, I'm busy. You go ahead and do it if you want to do it, I'm busy. Stallone did it, it sucked. That's the reason, and he just does this little competition, but that's what he did. I did Rambo, he does Commando. I do this, he does that. Like, come the fuck on, like. But for every movie that was good, there's a dud in there.
Yeah.
There's always a fucking dud. Stallone with Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
I've never heard of that one.
You ain't missing nothing. Rhinestone.
That's the one with Dolly Parton, isn't it?
Yes.
Ain't missing nothing?
That's the only reason you want to see this movie.
It's Dolly Parton.
It's Dolly Parton. For two obvious reasons. Dolly Parton. Oscar, wasn't that funny. I got it wasn't. It was. Stallone just couldn't do comedy, man. He trying to show range or whatever. It just didn't fuck. He turned down Romancing the Stone, a movie that went to Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. He turned that down to do something else, which might have been Rhinestone or whatever. It's just, oh God.
Well, I mean, other duds were like Assassins.
I was so disappointed in that.
That movie is so boring.
Yes. I'm thinking him.
The Specialist is also extremely
I didn't
boring.
mind that as much. Cause I saw that on TV, so
the
I
only
don't
enjoyable part is James Woods.
Yeah.
He's having a ball.
Cursing him out on the thing.
And you get to see Sarah Stone naked. That's fun. But
of course.
I mean, but the rest of the movie.
Been there, done that, you know.
The rest of the movie is boring.
I was so disappointed in Assassins. Because I'm thinking him, Banderas, and Richard Donner directing. I'm like, oh shit, this is going to be good.
Yep.
I'm like, this was terrible. And it's just me, why are so many bad movies? A lot of bad movies are filmed in Seattle for some reason.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Assassins was in Seattle. 88 Minutes with Pacino, Seattle. The remake of Get Carter was Stallone, Seattle. There have been a lot of bad movies filmed in Seattle for some fucking reason. Chronicle was good. You ever see that?
Chronicle?
Chronicle.
No.
Michael B. Jordan and his other kid that wound up playing on SWAT. That was good. Took place in Seattle. Good movie. But for some reason, there seemed to be this lot of duds filmed in Seattle. Is it cheaper to film up there or what? I don't know. That's good for like teen movies of the 80s. You film in Washington. No, not teen movies in the 80s. Some of them, yeah. But Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
They always go to Oregon or Washington or Canada to film. I guess it's cheaper or it's easier, whatever the case may be. X-Files did that. X-Files is filmed in Canada, but every goddamn week they're someplace different, but it's filmed in Canada.
Right.
Like I'm like, that's not Jersey. I know what Jersey looks like. That's not Jersey. Like, come on. You know? No street in Jersey is that goddamn clean. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, content, people. Continuity content. Be consistent. Marvel, DC, DC Vertical, all you, Disney, please, keep the content to where it should be. Don't water it down. Don't take artistic licensing, creative licensing to water something down because you think you know what we want. Without asking, without talking to the people. Like the song goes, gotta give the people what they want. Give people what they want.
Right.
Don't, like I said, like I'm quoting, who am I quoting here? was it Samuel L. Jackson? Don't pour syrup on shit, tell me it's pancakes. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like something you would say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Don't pour syrup on shit, tell me it's pancakes. Or no, what's the other one? Don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. You know what I'm saying? I heard that before.
Yeah.
So, you got to be very careful with content, continuity, context. Especially context. We've been over this with comedians and movies and everything else. Context shouldn't be taken too seriously.
Especially if it's jokes.
Yes.
Because they're meant to be funny.
Right.
And some of them are meant to be taken out of context because that's the joke. That's the punch.
That could be the punchline. But yet and still, I know for a fact right now I have an aunt that I could not tell a dirty joke to. That's not in her wheelhouse to respond to that. I wouldn't even fathom telling her a dirty joke.
That's most of my family.
Right. But my mother, I can tell her the joke with no problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Now, would my aunt want to cancel me if she heard me tell a joke to someone else? No.
No.
She just wouldn't like it. But I wouldn't tell it to her.
Right.
If we got to tell it to somebody else and they think it's funny, doesn't mean my aunt would cancel me.
Well, part of comedy is knowing your audience.
Exactly. Now, I also heard, don't water it down for the sake of the audience. Stick to what you know.
Right.
Don't dumb yourself down to appease them because you think it's what they want.
Right.
Disney, don't water it down to appease you. Don't take away from me. I want to see Daryl Hannah's ass in Splash. I want to see Jessica Jones and Luke Cage fuck their brains out. That's just me. That's just me. It may not be you, but it's me. I'm paying for it. Give me what I'm paying for.
Right.
Context. I know how to take it in context. That's just me. Sorry.
No, that's right. It's a great spot to wrap up.
Here we go.
Covered quite a lot.
Any time for shout outs? I got a lot of shout outs.
Anything you want.
Okay. If everybody already seen this vest, it's from my cousin Daryl Fitzgerald. Oh man. Everything from the 80s and 80s we all grew up watching. I lost my favorite one.
Oh, very nice.
Thundercats. Somebody, Warner Brothers DC, somebody, a Thundercats live action movie.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Another
But done seriously.
Yes.
Not that campy crap from the 80s.
Yes.
I want a serious storyline.
So that's my cousin Daryl Fitzgerald's creation. He made it just for me because he knew I would like it.
It's great work. It's absolutely amazing. I'm very jealous.
When he made it, he said, "I know you'll like this." So yeah. So I'm worried. I got to wear it on here. Hopefully the whole world will see it. We also got our own. Rest in peace to Nichelle Nichols, Bill Russell.
Yes.
Ray Liotta. All fine actors, fine activists. They put their mind to it and got the job done. Nichelle Nichols almost quit Star Trek. Do you ever know that?
Yeah, my mom likes to tell that story.
She almost quit, but Martin Luther King
stopped
her from quitting.
You are helping us out in a great, great
She
way.
just didn't see it at the time,
right?
But it did, which led to Whoopi Goldberg being on Next Generation, to every actress now who's on a sci-fi show like that. All the artists that brought something different to the table. Movies, film, television, sports, whatever. You brought something different to the table. You entertained us. You put your art, your craft to work. You see what I'm saying? They brought the work to life.
Yeah.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
She was
Nichelle Nichols did it for
years.
years.
She was in the first show to give everyone the spotlight.
Right. Whether she knew it or not, that's what she was doing.
Right.
Other than that, a personal note. Shout out to, my God, tomorrow's the 1st, isn't it, of August?
Yes.
My daughter Anastasia will be turning 22 as of August 1st.
Oh,
Hi, Squirt. You ain't grown. You're 22, but you ain't grown. Okay? Don't get cute. Okay? To my other half, Cassandra. It's been 15 years. Lord have mercy. How about another 15? What do you say? I love you. It was 15 years ago. Whatever it is, we can do it. That's it for me on this one.
All right. Thank you for coming back.
Not a problem. We'll come back. And after I see Thor: Love and Thunder, we'll go back again.
Yes.
Black Adam for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As we see Black Adam, we're going to go through Black Adam with a fine-tooth comb. And what else is due? Black Adam. What else is due? Soon. I can't remember.
Isn't there
It'll
another
come to.
Marvel movie coming out?
Lightyear.
I didn't see Lightyear.
I didn't either. It'll be on Disney Plus on the 3rd.
Okay.
So that's another one. There's a scene in this movie we're going to talk about. There's a kissing scene in Lightyear.
Yeah,
talk about.
It got a whole lot of controversy.
We will go over that with a fine-tooth comb, not to offend anybody, but to go over it and talk about it like adults. Oh, Lord
We
have
certainly
mercy.
talk about it like adults.
Like adults. And hopefully the LGBTQ community won't be too upset. It's our opinion, folks. Don't take anything out of context. Please. Oh, and next week, who's coming? Not Scott Baio. Who's coming? Willie Ames. From Charles in Charge and 8 is Enough. He's coming.
Sure. Thanks for coming back.
Not a problem.
Can't wait to have you back. I need to do a better job of getting episodes out. It's been almost an entire year. Hopefully I can get back on a weekly basis, but we'll see.
And don't forget in the comments, tell them to see Arlington Road. You want to see the bad guys get over a little bit? Arlington, Jeff Bridges, Tim Robbins, Joan Cusack. Arlington Road.
Alright. If you like what you saw, like it. If you think other people like it, share it. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and live your imagination.